I should pick my nose. Well, hello, everybody. How's it going? Happy Saturday, or whenever you watch. I'm here with Uncle Ron,
Hi
and we're
there.
hoping the OG Devin will show up. But if not, it's myself and Uncle Ron, and whoever shows up in the chat. How's everything going, Uncle Ron?
Feeling better, thanks. I had
Excellent.
part of a cold. The wife was out sick for 4 days. Been a fun week here.
A lot of flu going around. A lot of people sick at work and stuff. It's like I just got over. I had that sinus infection and the other thing going, and then other people. The woman who sits in front of me, she got, again, pneumonia is not really contagious, so actually I don't think it's contagious at all.
No,
But she got pneumonia. The best part is you go to the doctors, right? Just because my mom, I know the cough, right? I know right away. I go, that's not a cold. You got bronchitis. That's going to lead to pneumonia. And so she went to the doctor, and they go, yeah, you're okay. It's got to run its course. Next day, bam, pneumonia. And she had to go to the hospital. She's been out of work for a week, almost 2 weeks now. Run its course. Anytime a doctor says that to you and they're a guy, well, we'll just say it, kick him in the nuts. Run its course is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
make sure you take your antibiotic until it's all gone, even if you feel completely better.
That the whole run its course thing's strange to me. Anyway, that's my little rant about that. If you don't feel good, go to the doctors. I'm not saying to be paranoid, but if you don't feel good, go to the doctors. I mean, if you have a booger stuck in your nose, don't go to the doctors. If you think you might have pneumonia, go to the doctor. That's difference right there. So
what happens is that people go to the ER for things. And so,
yeah.
people generally need to be in the ER or can't get their care right away because someone who should go to an urgent care goes to the ER instead.
Right.
I'm sorry that the burger at Burger King wasn't vegan and your intestines don't feel good. This person's having a heart attack.
That's the other thing. I don't understand vegans. I'm sure that's going to lose some subscribers. I don't get that. I don't eat meat. Okay, that's nice, but why are you like a cult? I mean, they're literally like a cult. You eat meat? Yeah,
I could bring my sister
meat.
on if you really want to know, and I really don't want to bring her on.
She'll probably yell at me. I don't need to get yelled at. So your sister's like a vegan?
I have 3 sisters, and one of them is quite veganish. Yes.
Okay. Now, does she like at Thanksgiving? Does she,
Oh yes. There's
Yeah.
different. Yeah, we try to.
You guys do the tofu turkey thing?
Never.
Good, because that's just not right.
No, we got together before Christmas, so there was no turkey anyway.
Yeah.
But my oldest sister made beef brisket chili, and so she had
beef brisket's good.
She had to make some that did not have beef brisket in it, and some that didn't have any sugar in it.
Yeah, I understand that. No, I'm just thinking.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong if you don't like that. I'm just saying there are some people who take things a little too far with everything, and one of my friends' exes was a vegetarian, vegan. Again, there's a difference. Vegan, like they won't do milk or anything like that, right?
Vegetarians will probably do cheese and eggs,
right? And vegans won't.
Oh, absolutely no animal products whatsoever.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I like cheese.
And no, Bobby, my hair isn't really any better than it was at noontime today. So, it's too long. It needs to.
Are you seeing someone in the chat?
No, but if he does pop in.
I just saw some. I was like, who's he talking to?
What's going on?
Because YouTube's acting really weird. Anyway, but this is gonna be the greatest stream ever. No one's gonna watch. Anyway, it's me and Uncle Ron to the end. Yeah, I like cheese. I mean, like when I went to the doctor, she's like, you got to cut back on some of your carbs and this and that. I'm like, okay. No bread. Oh, okay. No pasta. What? Okay. No cheese. Okay. Can you just get the revolver out of the desk and put what the hell? Just let's put 5.
How bad were your numbers?
5 shells in there and spin it and just go. I mean, come on, really? Really? Are you kidding me? No, they're better now. I take a cholesterol pill, and I watched what I eat, but I still eat cheese and bread and stuff like that. I eat a lot more popcorn. I like popcorn soup. It's high in fiber.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, I
supposed.
have to watch what I eat, and I eat too much crap.
I've been on a crap eating binge, like chocolate, chips, anything. I'm like, you gonna eat that hot dog? I want that last bite.
You
I
shouldn't
just been on a.
steal it from the kid.
Yeah, give me it.
I remember I got the single serves of macaroni and cheese. Or
Oh my god! So did I.
maybe those once in a while because
I'm not supposed to eat those.
I'm not supposed to eat either.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
I'm eating one of these, and I said, you know what? I could use in this. What? A hot dog. Because there's not enough
When did you?
processed stuff in what I'm eating.
When, when did you get those? I just got them last week.
CVS has them.
I know, but when did you get those?
Oh, I've been out for a while, but yeah, a 4-pack.
Oh my god! I just did. I was like, I haven't had mac and cheese in so long, and I was like, I'm walking down doing the shopping for the house, right? I'm like walking down, I'm like, I need like a canned peaches, right, or something in the morning. I like to eat fruit. I'm lazy, so you open it up, dang. I eat apples and oranges at lunch, but I'm like, I like canned fruit in the morning, right? So I'm sitting there going down, like, well, it's sort of healthy. It's fruit, maybe a little too much sugar, but whatever. And I'm sitting there, oh wow. Was it that aisle or the next or whatever? I'm sitting there going, mac and Chef Boyardee mac and cheese. I go, I haven't had mac and cheese in years. What are these? 10 for $10? What is this? 10 for what? How much is that, man? Let me get 50 of these things. It's just like I got a gazillion of them. Not 50, but I did get a lot. Let me tell you something. Nothing better than waking up middle of the night, Ron, and sitting there going, I'm kind of hungry. I'm not supposed to eat late at night, they told me, but I'm like, you know what? I got mac and cheese. Let me put some salt and pepper on that. You know what? One just isn't going to do. Let me have 3.
Yeah, I'm going to wake up my wife tomorrow morning at 4 and say,
she's going to hit you. Don't do it.
Oh, absolutely, she would, with justification.
She's going to strike you and strike you hard.
Yes, go back to sleep, you fat.
And Phantomatic has joined us in the chat. How you doing, my friend?
When I was little, we're going through the old neighborhood IGA, and they had Franco-American macaroni and cheese in the can. And, I'm used to craft dinner in a box. So like, oh, yeah, that's great. And my mother's going, I'm not buying that for you. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Fine. If I buy it, you got to eat all of it.
Yeah.
And, and I should never realize that you should never challenge your mother when she says something like that, because she opened up one can and put it in front of me and gave me a bite, and it was the most disgusting thing I think I'd ever had. And she says, oh, no, you're eating the whole can. And I did, and I never
I never smoked or cigarettes first. I smoked cigars on occasions to a certain point. Then I stopped. But I never smoked cigarettes. And the thing was, I remember my dad going, you want to smoke? You want to smoke? When I was young, right? Because I was smoking. He gave me a cigar. Yeah, it was like, I don't know, 10, 11. And he goes, okay, smoke this. I think I threw up all over the place, and I never wanted to smoke a cigarette. And it was a cigar, though. And later on, I would smoke the thin cigars when I was mowing the lawn to keep the mosquitoes away. And my friend Pete would drive by, and I'm mowing the lawn and the riding lawnmower. And
those thin cigars would keep anyone wearing a bra away too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just they're horrible. And anyway, but they're the thin cigars, right? And my friend's like, he'd see me, and I'm bipping and bopping my head. He goes, "Are you singing to yourself on that?" I go, "Yeah, no one can hear me. That thing's like from 1932. That thing, it sounds like a Sherman. People can be on the sidewalk, they can't hear me singing." I said, "The worst thing ever happened. The gas ran out, and I'm singing and he goes, "What do you sing?" I sing like Rhinestone Cowboy because I know the words, and I sing The Gambler. I sing a lot of Kenny Rogers songs, right? And one time the gas ran out, Ron, and the people, I'm like singing oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And, you have to understand, no one can hear me because they can see my lips moving and they think, that's nice, he's challenged. But, it's just. And then I'm not lying, the gas ran out. I didn't pay attention how much gas there was. I thought I could finish like this part of the lawn in front. For some reason, I started the backyard first. I remember the family walking by going, you got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold. And literally, it's like the bus, like the bus, if you're on a bus If you ever notice when the bus is going, people talking as it slows down or stops. A lot of people just stop talking or bring it down low. I was like, oh boy.
So you did your own Southwest Airlines ad before those became a thing.
Absolutely. I do my own ads all the time anyway, right? So we have some souls in the chat. We have Westbrook Cards 12. That's a card. I've been starting to watch some of those card channels. They're pretty fun. The baseball, football. My God, collecting cards changed since I did it. You had tops. And I got some tops I'm going to show, I guess, one of these nights.
I was watching Fandomatics basketball breaks the other night. There's a good mix of older and newer cards, and they got the Greek dude from Milwaukee.
Oh,
that's why I can't say his name. Giannis.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. That's from a while ago, right?
No, that was, I think, Tuesday night or whatever.
No. But I mean the Greek player.
Oh no, he's a current player.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking they had a guy. I'm not talking Ronnie Cycli because he didn't play for, but they had someone else. I can't think of his name. I don't know if maybe it wasn't the Bucks, but so we have Tribes Fan in the chat. Giannis, he says Giannis. And check out Tribes Fan. He just did his 2016 Twins second update. He's doing the replay Stratomatic baseball. And we have Clinton Parks, always a fun channel. Check him out. Clinton, the guru of all things baseball stats. And God, he loves his dead ball. He will talk about dead ball forever and ever. But that's cool. I don't mind. And he knows other baseball, too. He loves it all, like Bogey and Bacall. And we have Fandomatic. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Anyway, so I'm Al, Red Sox fan. You guys know that. And this is Uncle Ron.
Hello.
And remember, also we have Westbrook Cards 12. As he says, yes, sir, love tops, though. I'm telling you, I've just started watching a lot of these. There's a couple of channels I really like. And it's funny because a lot of them are younger kids. They're really into it. And of course, I love MP Fox, him and his son and his wife and his daughter. That's great stuff, MP Fox. But there's other ones. What stinks is, I'm bad with names, but there's a lot of great fun card collecting channels out there, and it's a really nice community. So I just watched some of them.
So expensive now.
They are
behind you. I've got an unopened box of 89 cello packs that I bought for like $10 like 2 years ago because they're still printing them. A pack of 10 Topps base cards are $1.95 a pack.
That's hilarious. I remember, now I'm going to go old guy, for $1, and we got pissed because it was like, it went up to 25 cents a pack, and before that was like 20. We got so for $1, you could get 4 packs, and you could chew that crappy bubble gum till your teeth fell out, and we did.
Oh yeah.
The best part was I was like the unluckiest person when it came to collecting cards. You get a card you want, and that stupid piece of bubble gum would be right there, and the sugar would wear on the card. And you're like, really? Never on the Toronto Blue Jays, who just started and all their players sucked. I'm like, really? I finally get a Carl Yastrzemski card, and the gum is on the Carl Yastrzemski card,
but never on the Yankee cards.
No, never. Let me ask Westbrook Card 12. How much do a pack of cards cost? Standard regular pack. What we say around $2? You said $1.90
the base Tops.
Yeah. So he collects a lot of different, and a lot of people they collect. It's like there's a lot of action poses now, which I like. Do you remember around the old football cards when?
Oh, sure.
This is how stupid the NFL was. They wouldn't give them the rights to show the logos on the helmets, and so everyone never had a helmet on. They're always doing this or pretending to catch the ball and stuff.
I didn't realize. I mean, I at one point bought a rookie Joe Montana. Pay like $100.
I bet you the logo on the helmet was blacked out if he was wearing the helmet.
Absolutely, that was the point I was going to say. As a kid, I didn't realize that, but in college, when I got it, I looked at the card and going, "There's no 49ers logo on there. It's just a gold helmet with a with the red paint mask."
What's that called? They would wash it, airbrush it. Yeah, because I got a bunch of cards. I figured out how to zoom in with my camera, but it doesn't work well. I'm like, this camera's got to zoom in. I was trying to figure it out. I set up a little different setup for my computer room thingy. And I'm like, I like to show some of my cards, not to sell or anything like that. They're my cards, right? I have them for stupid reasons. They make me happy. But it's hilarious. There's no, everyone's doing it, like they're doing this or that. And there was one, I always was happy when I got a Cleveland Brown. I have Mike Phipps playing for the Cleveland Browns, probably my favorite football card ever. Because
Wow.
he has his helmet on, and because it's a Cleveland Browns, there's no emblem, so there's no washing of the emblem, and that's one of the rare cards that actually had the emblem. I mean, a helmet on. And the
Right.
other thing that happened in the early '80s when they finally gave the rights, I forgot who it was. I want to say it was Topps. They came out with Super Bowl action cards where they just like I have Super Bowl III somewhere, a couple of them, and I have Matt Snell scoring for the Jets. And it's just, but they have the whole. I love the action cards, meaning like
Yeah.
they have them going in from whatever the 3-yard plunge he made, 5-yard plunge, whatever. It's the only touchdown I think scored in Super Bowl III. Then they kicked a bunch of Turner field
That's the
goals.
only one the Jets scored. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry, the only one the Jets scores was Snell, who should have been the MVP. I mean, Namath called a beautiful game. I get that, but I don't know.
A bit before my time.
Well, me too. I'm just saying. I've seen it in replay. Oh, we have Todd B joining us in the chat. How you doing, my friend? Another wonderful friend of the community. So we asked Westbrook Cards 12. He says a box is 100 to 200. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's
I
right.
remember buying a box of Topps for $50, and I thought that was expensive. You know what? Though? That was no fun. I have to be honest with you. Here's the other thing. Be careful, people. I don't know how it works now. I went to a card place to buy a box of Topps cards. I forgot what year, in the 80s, right? I said, let me just buy them all. And again, it kind of takes the fun away from collecting. It just, but whatever. So I go through the cards. I'm like, wait a second. I had no Roger Clemens, right? There's some big cards not in there. I went back and go, you sold me a box of cards, right? I go, did you pull any cards out of here? He's like, what do you mean? I go, I have no Roger Clemens. I have no this, no that, no that. I go, did you pull cards out of here? Oh, that's a different set. I go, come on. You know I'm not lying. And he gave me the cards that I was missing. And that's bullshit. You got to be careful with that. You buy a set, I want the set. Don't be pulling good cards out of the set.
When I was still working at the sports store, there's like 3 or 4 years I tried to put a set together. Now it's Series 1 and Series 2. But if you buy a box of Series 1.
Yeah. Now, what Series 1? They come up with different cards? I don't.
Basically, it's a 660 card set, and they just divide it into 330.
I got you. You buy in 2 halves. Got you.
Right.
Understand.
And so, maybe signings that maybe trades in December might get put in the second series.
Okay. All right. They update it, sort of. Yeah.
So, right. And so you'd buy the box and you'd still be, the full jumbo packs, 10 packs of 50, and you'd still be short 3 or 4 cards.
That's wrong. If
you're buying $100 worth of cards. I got somewhat of a deal because I worked there, but
yeah,
but yeah, you wouldn't have a full. You got 19.
I had the guy give me the card. I mean, I'm not saying I knew because it came with the It's the only time I ever did it because I bought box sets. Right. It comes with the list of cards you're supposed to have. The other card, the checkoff card. And I actually went through to make. I'm like, I'm missing these 5 cards, and they were good players. Like, I'm missing these 5 players.
You go back to the 60s and 70s. You know what some of the most valuable cards in those sets are?
The checkoff set.
The checklist, because they were usually checked off.
Yeah, and people used them. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
The one that's just a list of players on 2 sides.
Yeah, the only reason why I know that because exactly what you said. People used it like I did as a checkoff. Now, the one I have downstairs, which I don't even know if I could find, I probably threw them away after I was done. I actually didn't check them off because I was like, I wanted a clean set. So I just said, oh, I don't have that. And if I didn't have someone, I wrote it down and had 5 good players. And one of them, I remember Roger Clemens, not there. And that's the one that sticks in my head. I honestly don't remember the other 4. It was Roger Clemens was not. I was pissed off. Like, really? So What's Blazing in Sports just joined us in the chat. He just started live streaming again. So check out T-Dub, What's Blazing in Sports, all things boxing. And let's read a few things in the chat, and then we'll go with, I forgot to let you, do your introduction. Thank you, Westbrook Card 12. Please check him out. Wonderful small channel. Cards. I asked him some questions on how much cards cost out of curiosity. Clinton Parks says, Todd B sent you an email back. Okay, so he's talking with Todd. And Todd B says, I remember buying an entire box of 1975 Topps for $3.60.
Whoa!
Man, wow, 1975. Nice. Here's the other, and then we have Tri-Train said, I remember going on a family vacation to New England and parents buying me a 1991 Donruss baseball and opening a pack every hour. That's cool. And T-Dub says, hello to everyone. And remember, check out What's Blazing in Sports, All Things Boxing. T-Dub, I'd like to do, and it could be whatever on your channel, but I want to talk about the Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and the Deontay Wilder situation, because what we said a while back has come to fruition, where Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn basically screwed themselves by not taking the fight, because guess what? If Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder play their cards right, they got a 2-fight series coming up, and you're gonna make buku cash. And who's out? Anthony Joshua, because he thought he had the stick. No more stick.
There's a decent fight on FS1 tomorrow night.
After the super middleweight or junior middleweight. I'm gonna catch that after. They're actually 2 decent fighters. Those guys. I don't know much about them, but I've heard about them, and I'm sure T-Dub can tell us more about that. And again, What's Blazing in Sports. You just got back up live streaming again, so please check them out. Great channel, and check out all the content creators. Clinton Park says, Hostess used to put. I remember those, the baseball cards on the Hostess.
Off the back of the box.
Yeah. I used to get pissed if I didn't cut them off right, too. I'm like, oh.
I remember buying Rice Krispies and Raisin Bran for the 3D cards in the Kellogg's, too.
Yep. I remember the Hostess ones. That's a good one. Clint says, Al, I'm sending Todd my entire photo collection. He also plays Digital Diamond. Cool. Clinton Parks does a wonderful job with
yes, he does.
Digital Diamond Baseball. He has done so much work on the dead ball era. And Sim Salabim, who has joined us, the man, the legend.
OG!
What's up? OG, the original Grognard in the house. How are you, my friend?
Doing pretty good. How you gentlemen doing this evening?
Good.
How are all the chatters doing?
Well, the chatters showed up when it's funny, Ron Juck and I were talking. And not that we get a lot of people. We're waiting for someone to come, and we were hoping that you would join in. Thank you for joining us, Kevin. And so I start talking about YouTube changing another policy where you can no longer hit that thing saying, hey, send this out to Twitter automatically, send this out to Google. They're getting rid of that. And who's that going to hurt? The big YouTube channels? The little guy. So anyway. And then it's funny because Ron goes, hey, I didn't get your notification. Shocking. And I love YouTube. I'm just saying, come on, guys, throw us a bone.
It's nice that the catfish let you join us tonight there, Devin.
Yeah, I think he's been kind of sticking his nose out for all day and kind of been just kind of hanging out outside of his cave.
Oh God, I just found my reflection.
I fed him.
There's the ugliest reflection in the world right now.
You're in the tank, Ron.
In the tank.
Yeah, Ron's on the tank.
I'm in the tank, right?
With the catfish.
The catfish is just chilling. Great shot.
Yeah, he is. He does. He likes to.
That's awesome. I love him. I love him. It sucks that if the zombie apocalypse comes, he's the first we eat. But...
Oh, he's lunch. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He's lunch.
Little Dijon. While I was waiting for Al to set up, I got watching some food videos on YouTube, which is never a good thing. And so,
and then we talked about all the stuff we're not supposed to eat. That was fun.
And so, Al, it's actually best cheesesteaks in Philadelphia.
Ooh, love a good cheesesteak.
Yeah.
You know what I hate, though? When you get a cheesesteak, every once in a while you get that magic mystery meat of grizzle, and you're like, oh. I literally would be like, okay, just put this aside. Just walk away for 10 minutes. It never happened. Come back and eat it. Just that's like when I was a kid. What? Oh, yeah, it freaks me out. If you get that weird, I don't mean like a little fat, like all of a sudden you hit it, it's just weird. You're like, that doesn't taste right. It's like, you're thinking it's like someone's thumb or something. Like, oh.
You've been getting Philly cheesesteaks from the school lunch program again, Al.
Oh, school lunches. That's a great topic. Let's go to school lunches right away. So there are a few things I would eat during school lunch. I like the fish sticks. For some reason, to me, they tasted good. Because I think I smothered like the most ketchup you could ever on those things. I was like that's what made MASH funny with Radar O'Reilly when he put ketchup on everything. Every kid who went to school, if you like ketchup when you got a meal, you're like, what's this? Ice cream? It doesn't look like ice cream. Put ketchup on it. So, except they didn't give us that until high school. We had the little You know, they give you that one thing. You're like, you're trying to, can I have another ketchup? And the lunch lady who weighed like 9,000 pounds, like, no. I really would like another little ketchup packet. Can I just please have a little ketchup? You don't like the food you're eating? No, I do. I really do like the food I'm eating. Can I just a little ketchup packet, please. I'll give you wax beans. I don't want the wax beans. I just want the ketchup. Okay. I know I'm only 7. I'll take the wax beans. You give me 2 ketchup packets because I got to smother one on those goddamn things. They're horrible.
I can't believe they trusted you with ketchup packets. They would never have trusted us with ketchup packets.
Ketchup packets to me were gold. I put that on everything when I was in school.
No,
I was like, "What's this? What's this?" I was like,
we
"What is
never
that?"
used them on the food. They were, used to shoot at people.
And you shoot the ketchup packet. Yeah.
Yes.
We did that too, but I never wait. That's only if I had an extra ketchup packet. So anyway, back to that real quick. So I'd eat the fish sticks. I like them, right? Then the things that pass for mashed potatoes, I like the taste of those. I don't know if they were mashed potatoes. I don't even know if there's potato product in them. We always theorized that it was the leftover shavings from the chalk, but it's sort of, they put the gravy, you put enough gravy and ketchup on it, it tasted okay, right? Right? Gravy and ketchup or whatever. So I like that. And I don't know what the hell the hamburgers were because they were gross.
The same gristle that they put in your cheesesteaks.
Except a lot more of it. I'm like, you take a bite of that, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not eating that crap.
It's great.
The hot dogs were okay, and I like hot dogs, right? But every once in a while, I'd lose that hot dog lottery, meaning I take a bite and there'd be a chunk of fat in there, be like, where did they get these hot dogs? You know what I'm talking about, too. If you ever just like, all of a sudden you're just like, yeah, put that aside. No matter, you could put 10 ketchup packets for me on it after. I'm like, I can't eat it. I can't. So, I mean, it was like, give me another milk. So I go back up to the lunch late. There's a chunk of, I think, fat. I mean, like this big chunk of fat. And I see it's on. There's nothing wrong with that. Eat it. I'm pretty sure it's fat. It's like really hard. It possibly could be a knuckle, like a pig knuckle or something. Can I have a different hot dog or more ketchup? Maybe if I smother it with a lot of, can I just have like a real knife to cut that thing off? It's like shot in there. You can't even, eat the other end. Oh, God. And she gave me more wax beans.
You always knew that desserts were trouble by the
oh my God, desserts.
The size of the blob of fake whipped cream they put on the Jell-O.
That was the Jell-O, right? And they put the whip. I'm like, that's the best one. Yeah, and you realize you go up there and you're like, and they watch, like, you couldn't get an extra dessert. Sometimes they give them out, but you had to eat like whatever the vegetable was. And if it was corn or this or that, but like it was wax beans all the time when it was extra dessert day. I'm like, really? I think they did that on purpose to try to get rid of those crap. I don't like wax beans. If someone does,
apparently not, since you mentioned it 4 times.
If someone does, that's fine. I just don't like them.
I haven't even eaten no wax beans.
You don't want to. It's not natural. It's not natural.
So I always knew that, if they were put the extra whipped cream on the Jell-O, that it was fruit they couldn't get rid of. It was hiding the pears in the orange Jell-O. You won't notice this at all, will you?
Those are funny. Bobby Cantolano's in the chat. She says, wax beans are gross. Hello, Bobby. How you doing, my friend?
We got ice cream twice a year.
That's more than we got it.
On concert day.
Ooh, concert day.
Because the senior center came and they fed them dinner too. So they
got wax beans too.
No, we got no, we didn't get wax beans. They gave us corn that day. Corn, those potatoes, and turkey usually.
Ooh, see, that was a decent meal. So
and ice cream. Ice cream with way too much air in it, but they gave us ice cream.
Once in a while we get the fake. Actually, we got ice cream more than twice a year, but once in a while they give us the fake hoodsie cups. We didn't care; it was ice cream, And then they give you that little that piece of wood, right? And be like, and you got at the end you're like licking it. It's like I'm trying to get every last ounce of ice cream that is.
The strawberry ones were good with those.
Oh yeah, they were wicked good. Oh gee, what was your favorite thing at lunch, and then you can tell us the crap you ate in the Navy.
Honestly, I think the stuff I ate in the Navy was better than I had when I was in school.
Yeah.
I don't remember much grade school food. I know I tended to usually eat it for some reason. Mac and cheese and,
I like
the
mac and
little
cheese.
wieners. Those weren't.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad.
We were talking about that before.
Yeah, you
by the-
missed it. We're talking about buying the little things of singles of Kraft macaroni and cheese. And I turned to the guy that made it for me and I said, this could use a hot dog.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I need another gram of salt with my salt, you know.
Go ahead, OG.
But by the time I hit high school, you know, you bought your lunches.
Right.
You could have whatever meal they were serving or the hamburger and fries. By the time I hit high school, I was doing hamburger and fries every
Right.
day. And so that, you know,
That
other than that, but
Yeah, we had a grinder line, which was pretty good. So
My first high school didn't serve lunch. They
served wax beans, probably.
No. My second high school, they actually had it, and they had a special. You talk about salt, and I go to school with all these vegetarians and stuff, but they made a sandwich. It was basically biscuit dough with ham and American cheese baked into it.
I like it.
With tomato soup. It was
that's the best.
called the Hurdle Special.
It's called the heart attack.
Loved it. And it's like who sit
Tasty.
there and eat lick the shells out of peanuts because to eat the skins and the salt. Too much for me.
Wow. Let's go to the chat real quick and we'll go back to OG because he didn't tell us about what he ate in the Navy.
I love SOS, by the way.
Tribes fan says ice cream with wooden tongue depressor. Absolutely. That's exactly what it was.
We'll find them.
Todd B says we had metal lunchboxes as kids before they outlawed them. Deadly weapons. They were fun to hit one another with. They were fun. Oh my God, that was awesome. At the bus stop, you get in a fight with someone. They had a bag lunch, and you had your metal lunch. Hey, I win. Bam. You know what? Let me hit you 3 more times for good measure.
Your mother. Boom, boom, boom.
You dented my lunchbox with your head.
I love the thermostats that came in those metal lunch boxes.
Oh,
I thought I was so grown up whenever I was using them.
Right, because you pull it out. It's not, you don't have coffee in it. You have like whatever your beverage of choice. You know, like beer. No, but yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
You down in Western Massachusetts as an 8-year-old.
No. I used to have. I like punch.
Yeah.
Fruit punch. I had that. I mean, and he's right. You open that thing, you put in your little cup, and you're a big guy. You're sitting there. Big guy wearing little guy wearing big pants. I got my thermos, and I'm going to pour my juice, and I'm going to eat my lunch, and I'm not eating those effing wax beans because I brought my own lunch. So, hey, big mean lady.
You've pissed off the cat, Al.
Oh, no, not Emily. So let's go back to the chat here real quick. Bobby says, I think you guys are too young to have the same lunches, LOL. Tribes fan said, went to Catholic school, didn't serve meat on Fridays. Any kids ordered double fried. Yeah, because the fish, yeah. It's a Catholic thing.
The run on Fridays and Lent at my second high school to the sandwich thing because they couldn't eat meat. And so they just kept handing them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
That's when I learned to love tuna sandwiches during Lent.
I love me a Filet-O-Fish.
Oh, you know what? People make fun of Filet-O-Fishes. They taste so good. I don't know if they sprinkle them with whatever, cocaine, but it's good. I'm not saying you should, but
it's the fat, Al.
It is the fat. It's wonderful.
So
you need a little fat. What was it? What did you eat in the Navy?
Honestly, normal food. I'll be honest. We actually ate pretty well in the Navy.
Yeah, I know. Navy food's pretty good.
The Army, on the other hand, and the Marines, when they're eating their MREs, you're not wrong when they slather ketchup and honestly, most of the time it's Tabasco sauce and everything. Because MRE is not the greatest tasting thing, especially when you're in the field for 6 months. So
I had friends in the Marine Corps and in the Army, and they told me about that. That's why. But they said the Navy guys ate good.
Oh yeah, we ate great. One of the funny things is we had rice for every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, always rice. But mainly because the Philippine Islands is I don't want to say it's a protectorate of the United States, I guess you could say. And Philippine nationals can join the Navy, but they're limited in what jobs they can do. One of the jobs that they can do is cook. So we always had Philippine cooks. And I swear to God, breakfast, lunch, dinner, always rice. Always rice. Which, you know, it was okay. It was fine.
Yeah.
But I just always got a chuckle out of that. But yeah, you know, we could add solids if we wanted them. Of course, you know, sometimes the lettuce would be wilted, especially we're in deployment in the Pacific for 6 months. But
You better eat fruit or you get scurvy, right?
well, you
Only
can
if you're
get
on a boat.
scurvy, but the chances of a normal person getting scurvy is about the same chance as someone at sea getting scurvy nowadays because we just have so much better nutrition.
Right.
At sea. So yeah, it was usually good food. For lunches I usually went with the burger.
The
Lighter.
Clinton in the chat, because we're talking about this, he says, where was it? I had, because Clinton was in the Navy. He also was in the Navy, Clinton. Salute to all you guys who served the country. Clinton said, I had Navy food. Best food I had, though, was Air Force chow ha in the Azores. I also heard that because I have a friend, his nephew's been in the Air Force for a long time, and now he's in the reserves, and he did 2 tours in Iraq. He's done like 4 tours in Afghanistan. And he flies his first tour in Iraq, he flew A-10 Warthogs, which are tank killers.
Yeah.
And all he kept saying was, those are those slow-moving planes, right? They're like, yeah. He goes, oh, we blow the crap out of stuff. I go, yeah, just be careful. And they did okay. And then, but now he flies the huge supply planes. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name, but they're huge.
C-130s or Hercules.
Yeah, I think it's C-130s. And
or C-5. C-5's a jet.
They're one of the big. But he's the first plane. He flew combat missions. A-10 Warthogs, and I think I'm right. They're tank killers. They come in. They don't move really fast. So
they don't need to. They're flying tanks. They can take a hell of amount of.
That's what he said. He goes,
damage.
I remember when he came back. He goes, man, we blew the crap out of a lot of stuff.
That they did.
So,
if you just change the subject a little bit, if you ever see the YouTube channel Steve MRE Info,
no. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, he's worth it just for the laughs. He is the most relaxed person. He'll eat modern MREs and then he'll eat Vietnam era MREs.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's extremely interesting.
And to answer your question, Clinton Parks, yes, I heard about the submarine commander who got busted for it. It wasn't just buying a hooker in the PI. We used to do that all the time. That's what we went to the PI for. He got 10 of them and brought them on board the sub.
Can't do that.
And
that's what the no was.
Yeah. Well,
he's getting a party for the guys.
Let me just tell you something. There's a commercial that says, if this happens, it could last for so long. That's why I need 10 hookers. I'm just saying.
No, trust me, it was a party for his sailors. Like I said, I spent a lot of time in the PI. I know what goes on in the PI. But yeah, his big mistake was that he brought him on board ship, and especially on a submarine.
Yeah, you can't bring him on board.
You can kind of get away with it on normal ships, but submarines are a whole different ball of wax. I barely had the top secret clearance to go into some places on subs. I was never on sub duty, thank God. Going on a ship that purposely sinks just goes against everything that I hold dear.
And they go out for a long time because one of my friend's brothers, they were in Groton. That's where they would dock, but they would go out for a long. I go, how did that? He goes, you get used to it eventually. I'm like,
I was watching something on YouTube about it's an 18-hour day and you're on duty for 6 and you're sleeping for 6 and you're sharing your bunk with someone else and then you're
racking it. Yep.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have wanted to. No, I that's one of the. I specifically chose my job so I wouldn't go on a submarine. I was like, no, I don't want to run the risk. I mean, granted, it's an all-volunteer force, but I'm going to take a job that's going to keep me as far away from submarines and aircraft carriers as I can, because neither one of them I ever wanted to do any time on.
Clinton says he lived in Groton for 3 years, and he says he was a carrier sailor. So
see, the thing that gets me about carriers, I mean, some of the modern, the bigger modern ones, 5,500, 6,000 ships complement, sailors, Marines, you could 10 years later run into a guy who you spent the exact same time
You never
on
saw
board
him,
he did,
probably.
and you'd never know who he was. I mean, I did my first tour of duty was on a troop transport. We had 350 sailors, and we could have a 600 Marine complement on board. So even 350 was a little bit a lot. After that, I did my time on Perry class frigates, which crew complement was like 140, 150. Supposed to be 190, but we never ran at full numbers, anyways. And so that was nice. That was a very nice, smaller, intimate setting, and I love the hell out of being on. As Clint says, Gator Navy. Yep.
Dave Little has joined us in the chat. How you doing, Dave? Check out that channel. He did a wonderful basketball game early this morning. Or what time is it?
Yeah,
Soon to be
early this morning.
Yeah.
So what do you have against serving at an aircraft carrier? Just the sheer size of it? I would think
the sheer size of it. It's a missile magnet. I mean, it's a missile magnet.
It's a target.
It's a very, very large target.
So,
oh no, God, no. There were times we did operations with the Midway, and a lot of times they told us, "Yeah, all right, everybody needs to shut off the radar. We're doing speed tests on the Midway because we weren't supposed to know how fast the Midway and the carriers can go, especially the nuke powereds can get over 40 knots. Carriers are not slow. I don't care what anybody says.
Whoa.
Officially, they don't go that fast. Oh, but they do. Trust me. They do.
That's fast.
Yes, it is. So, Bobby Cantilani. Carriers are those giant ones planes land on. Yes, those are
those big ships. Yes. Anyway, God bless everyone who has served and continues to serve. It takes a special kind of human being to do that. God bless you all.
Special kind of crazy.
So,
well,
I didn't like getting yelled at football practice, so I know that wasn't for me.
You get used to that. Clinton, what was your rate when you were in the Navy? I'll give him a few seconds to respond.
Excellent.
Oh, the Forrestal. Wow.
Okay, so let's just while we have some people in the chat, I just like to say let's all give our best wishes and prayers and thoughts to Comics with Bueller. He lost a loved one. And if someone can, I'll put the link in if you want to watch the video. It was very nice. It went about 15 minutes, 11 minutes, 12, 15 minutes, and he explains what happened. And just everyone, Comics with Bueller is just a wonderful person. He's been on this show here. He doesn't have to come on this show. His channel is going up and away like a beautiful balloon, and well deserved. He's done more for small comic book channels in the community than anyone could ever imagine. He brings them on his channel. He helps them. He helps them just like we try with our community. We have a more eclectic community, and Comics with Bueller is part of our community. Deepest sympathies and prayers and thoughts. It's when you lose a loved one, and we've all gone through that. It's a tough thing. So just when you're saying your little best wishes for things to go well, just keep that in mind for Comics with Bueller. And I'm going to put the link in the chat if you want to watch now or later. Because Comics with Bueller's been on this show, and he has been a lot of fun. And he comes on and he just has fun, and he lets us. We're all ourselves. He doesn't say, "Hey, don't say this. Hey, don't say that." He just comes on and we have fun. We joke around, and it's, I don't like to see anyone I know not feel happy. Anybody. So again, best wishes. God bless Comics with Bueller. And it's tough when you lose a loved one, and to the people the family and the friends of that loved one. So I just wanted to say that. And I'll turn the show over to Devin and Uncle Ron for a moment.
Ron, nice to meet you.
I know Uncle Ron. So, and I'm going to put the link in the chat. Thank you.
Yep.
So yeah, Clinton was saying he was AZ and DP. Aviation administration and DP data processing used to be IT guys, or they're now IT guys. They used to be DPs, now they're ITs.
Massive computer systems on all those ships too.
No,
no,
not on my ships.
Oh, well, not okay.
On the
So what-
carriers, on the Aegis class cruisers. Yeah, but the Perry class frigates that I was on, we were called the Ghetto Navy. We held everything together pretty much with bubble gum and baling wire, and a lot of times we should have been fit rep, but the ships were never allowed to be fit rep just because of operational needs. And yeah, it was an experience. You
I
had
bet
to
it
know your shit because shit was breaking all the time. So yeah, that was back in the era when the Navy was a mechanical Navy, a technical Navy, and not so much a system operator Navy that it's come nowadays. We got a lot of these guys like and I'll go off on a little tangent here. The new LCS littoral combat ships, greatest boondoggle waste of freaking money the military's ever done.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, I absolutely despise those little bastard ships. They're supposed to be multi-role coastal. They're supposed to be taking over the Perry class frigates because most of the Perry class frigates are all gone. My two girls are no longer.
What were they? World War II Korea ships or?
Oh no! They were 70s and 80s. They had Perry class guided missile frigates, FFGs.
Okay.
So I think we ran well. I don't even think we had Windows on our computer operating systems. It was all
little Unix for you to figure out the command line.
BIOS and DOS. But the problem with these littoral combat ships is they're all systems operators on there. There's virtually no technicians. They all know how to push buttons on the computer screens, but none of them can fix a damn thing if something goes wrong with the ship. And well, yeah, that's fine in peacetime, but a shooting war starts up, and all these guys who are pushing buttons, that ship takes one decent hit, knocks out all the electronics.
Right.
They don't know how to fix crap. So yeah, I'm a bit of a bitter individual when it comes to the direction that the modern Navy has taken. So
did you get the chance to read the rule book for the game that you were demoing?
I've gotten a few pages read. Yeah, I've gotten a few pages read. My problem is I get distracted by this computer thing, and
we
I
all
find
do.
yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
My roommate, I talked her into picking up Borderlands 2. And so she's not really good as a first-person shooter gamer. So she and I have been going through. I've been leveling.
She's better than I am, Devin.
Well, probably, but she's still not very good. So she and I have been playing a lot the last few days.
Oh, nice.
It's like
great game, Borderlands. Great game.
I could either read this boring rule book or I could shoot the crap out of stuff with my roommate.
Borderlands 2 is a lot of fun.
Borderlands.
Though I'm going to tell you right now, two of my most favorite games I have ever played, besides like Pong or Atari when you're a kid, everything's like cool. Borderlands 1 and 2. Very few games do I complete, as everyone knows with Strange Brigade, because I can't get past that stupid part. I like Strange Brigade. That's my type of game. But Borderlands 1 and 2 are awesome. Now, the third one was okay, but they had the anti-gravity thing, which I hate, and it drove me nuts. We got my nephews and my brother-in-law and I, we got halfway through the game. It drove us nuts. There's things that because Handsome Jack, the character, is hilarious. I mean, those games will make you laugh. It's just really fun stuff, Borderlands. Great game. Do you find yourself in Borderlands? I'm a hoarder. I pick up so much stuff. I'm like, this level 1 pistol, I might need it at some point. Just, I'm a level whatever, but I might need this if I start a new character.
They're not really. I tend to get rid of probably too much stuff, because what I'll do is I'll get a new gun and I'll look at the stats like, this is a great gun. I love this gun, and I'll sell the one I'm using, and then I'll get into combat and realize, oh, this gun is crap. Ah, damn it! I sold my last gun that I was using. So I very rarely will hold on to stuff. I sell so much stuff that it's to my detriment, because a lot of times it's like, oh God. Now I'm gonna have to farm with this stupid gun until I get something halfway decent. So yeah, I don't hoard much at all, even though I should sometimes, but I don't.
When I would play Oregon Trail, I only made it once.
Did you die of dysentery a lot?
No.
You can die of dysentery.
The bell rang, and it just took too long to play in a 45-minute period. But you'd go and shoot the bear, and you can only carry X amount of food. So you kill this 2,000-pound bear, and you get 20 pounds of meat.
Yeah, the Oregon Trail was a tough game. You weren't that game was, I think, was designed in mind of how 10,000 ways to die in the West.
Dysentery, typhoid, and starvation.
Starvation.
Don't eat
Snake
your berries.
bites.
Yep.
Getting shot.
Getting shot with arrows,
Or
shot
drowning because you decided you didn't have the money to buy the ferry, so you had to caulk your wagon and
try to
drown.
cross the river.
Yeah.
The syphilis.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's always in the game for 7th and 8th middle schoolers, Al.
Well, there's a lot of prostitution in the West. They should put it in there.
So, did you visit Miss Kitty?
No. You know what's funny? Everyone's like, "Oh, Miss Kitty," and I'm sitting there as a kid going, doesn't she have like hookers? I'm just saying, isn't that what that is?
Yes.
I like Gunsmoke. Love Gunsmoke. Not because of Miss Marshall Dillon. You had John Wayne, and then you had Marshall Dillon for me when I was a kid. Because Marshall Dillon would give the Marshall Dillon backhand, and he was a big dude. He like, bam! And he always gave it to someone who was an a-hole. Like someone who was beating up their wife or something. He'd just walk over and you'd explain what he was doing was wrong, and then beat the bejesus out of him. Like, I like him.
Peter Graves' brother.
So.
I hated
Peter Graves' brother.
That's right. Marshall Dillon, James Arness played the monster. Everyone's gonna like, we know, Al, you say it all the time. The monster in the original Thing, and the funniest stories I'll always remember till I pass. When he's 6'4", 6'5", 6. He was a big dude, right? And they put him on those Frankenstein stilts to make him look even taller. And he goes, I thought they were trying to kill me by breaking my neck on those things. But he played the monster in the movie, which is hilarious.
Yeah, there was no OSHA safety requirements when they made that movie. When they lit him on fire, they lit him on fire.
That guy, I don't know if it was him, but you're right. Whoever it was, they lit on fire. You can find that on YouTube. They literally really threw kerosene on the guy and went, now listen, you got this suit on. Look. You can't look. We're gonna lie down
in my mouth. Please make me laugh.
Just look. This is asbestos. You're not gonna catch on fire. Nothing burns asbestos.
And no lung cancer either.
No, quiet, you Uncle Ron. They literally, OG's right. They put a stunt guy in a fire suit and they threw kerosene. Watch that clip. The whole thing starts to go on fire, and you can see all the actors going, "Oh crap!" And then
I'm grabbing the link now to put it in the.
Yeah, please put that in. That is one of the best scenes in movie history because they really lit a dude on fire. How nuts do you have to be and have faith in that fire suit? You sure it's going to work? Absolutely.
Well, and it's not that they just threw kerosene on it. They had open buckets of kerosene that they were throwing on him.
Please, everyone, OG just put it in the chat. And watch this. We're not lying. It literally, the room catches on fire. And grant you, everyone's probably prepared. They had real fire extinguishers. It's all part of the scene. The whole thing catches on fire. People must be going, oh my God, they're going to kill us all. They're going to kill us all, these nutty bastards.
Well, you can see the clip on YouTube of Vic Morrow getting his head chopped off by the copter in the Twilight Zone movie.
I don't want to see that though, because it obviously didn't end well. And that was a big thing.
I want to get your head chopped off. Just
no, never ends well.
No more take
but that was a big thing because they released the movie and people didn't want the movie to be released because he died and I think the two little kids with him died too.
Yeah,
I think because the chopper. We talked a little bit about that a few things ago when we were talking about the Twilight Zone. That movie was cursed. I mean, that's what they say. It's bad luck, horrible luck, not even bad, just dreadful. Yeah, that was that's like Bruce Lee. He died on the set. How do you really put a real bullet in a gun? It's a fake. Should be a blank, right? He got shot for real.
That was Brandon Lee.
Oh, was that Brandon Lee? But Bruce Lee died on set too, didn't he?
Brandon Lee died on set. No, you're right. Bruce Lee was shot. Brandon, I think, there was some accident on the set that killed him.
Yeah, but Bruce Lee was shot.
I believe you're right.
They put real bullets.
Bruce Lee died in his mistress's bed. I think it was.
That was Nelson Rockefeller.
You're saying that's an urban myth about Bruce Lee?
I'm pretty sure.
I could have sworn he got shot. Or
I'm
maybe
it was
some
Brandon
got
Lee that
shot,
was
one or
shot
the
on the-
other.
I think
Maybe
it
it
was Brandon Lee that got shot on the set.
Okay.
Brandon Lee got shot on the set, but Bruce
Okay, so
Lee,
I'm sorry, I got
think,
mixed.
I think, okay, collapsed during an automated dialogue replacement session for Enter the Dragon and Golden Harvest in Hong Kong. Sufferings from seizures and headaches, he immediately rushed to Hong Kong Baptist Hospital, where doctors diagnosed cerebral edema.
So he had bleeding on the brain then, right? Is that what that
and
is?
then okay, no, that was on May 10th.
Okay, so it's Brandon. I'm sorry, I got it mixed up. But so he died with bleeding like a box. He probably from one of the many stunts they did because they're
Oh yeah.
probably so like a bleeding of the brain.
Yeah, doctor was summoned. He spent 10 minutes attempting to revive Lee before sending him by ambulance to Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Was declared dead on arrival at the age of 32.
Yeah,
Wow.
unbelievable. Luke,
but yeah, no, Brandon died on set. It was
okay, so he got shot then, right?
Yeah, well, it was a blank. He actually got shot with a blank, but there's still.
But was he too close? Something happened.
He was too close,
because a blank still discharges.
Well, it's a metal casing.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much the metal casing.
It's the fire.
It's the force. The force of the gunpowder. It's basically a gun is a small controlled explosion with it going in one direction. So you take that little bit of gunpowder, and even still, it's just a little bit of gunpowder, but focus it in one direction. If you're close enough, it'll kill you.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to have a bullet in it.
No, it doesn't. So okay, well that's
more
weird.
You know.
Yeah, no, but that's just strange of how it happened to father and son anyway. All right, we better move on let's get back to like lighting stunt guys on fire. More happy talk. Anyway, that's a great. I hope people do check that out. That scene's unbelievable. It's just again, it's one of my all-time favorite movies. The original Thing. We have to just do a night of that where I'm talking by myself because no one's going to join in. No one's going to be in the chat, and I'm going to just be having a grand old time talking about how I love all the Thing movies. The first one in the 50s, the Kurt Russell one in the prequel, which is excellent. It's always amazing to me that there are certain movies that people watch, like whether you watch it or Ron watches or anyone in the chat, that you've enjoyed it and you just don't understand how it didn't do well.
You do realize you're talking to two people who don't watch movies.
Oh no, I don't watch modern day movies.
Okay.
No, watches movies.
Anything pretty much 1970 and after, I tend not to watch. Anything pre 1970, I'll eat, especially monster movies. Okay. My mother loved monster movies.
What was your favorite? What was your mom's favorite monster movie?
Oh, probably The Thing. Honestly, it was probably The Thing.
It's a great movie.
And, she'll sit down and she'll watch them.
The ants.
We used to watch all those when I was growing up. I grew up on that. The first movie that just terrified me to no end, and I was like 6 years old, The Blob. The original Blob. I was hiding behind the couch.
Now, the effects for The Blob were pretty good. The acting, and again, Steve McQueen's in that. Great actor. God rest his soul. He died way too young from cancer. I think it was cancer. The acting's horrible. It's just so over the top, 50s-ish type. And they wanted to make it was cheesy to begin with, and they went over the top cheesy. But the special effects of The Blob, and Phantomatic brings up one that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid, the birds. Because how do you fight birds? I remember after watching that on the, again, 4 o'clock movie, and you got to go to school the next day, and you're like looking at the sparrows going, you're not going to peck my eyes out, are you? I feed you. Because you're like, seriously, a small animal, like say piranhas, say if birds were like, in this movie, the birds are basically like piranhas. I mean, they didn't eat you, but they were going to kill you. They move too fast. You can't defend against them. Yeah, that's a good one, Phantomatic. That is a good one. Josh D has joined us. He says hello.
Did you know that the famous scene in Psycho, which was the only part of that movie was in color, what they used for blood? Do you know what they used for blood in that?
Steak blood.
No.
Pig's blood.
Hershey's chocolate syrup.
Oh, interesting. Now I want to eat a Hershey's bar and wash it down with some mac and cheese. Yeah.
I would make a joke about that, but I'm not gonna.
Quiet. The reason why you have the mac and cheese in the Hershey bar, I'm not going to explain it. like that. Okay.
I'll ask my wife.
So, but yeah, great. I tell you, those were some fun.
Uh-oh. I said I will ask my wife and the speaker.
And Sim Salabim, she appears.
No, it was the speaker.
Oh. You know they're spying on you through that thing, right, Ron?
Yes.
Okay, I just want people to know it talks to you, it knows all your moves. It's if it asks you to send your DNA to somewhere, don't do it. Don't.
I'm also sitting here with a webcam, another webcam.
I mean, we're all being recorded right now.
A Comcast remote that has a microphone in it, a cell phone, and a camera.
They're listening in. Comcast knows everything I probably do. They're like, he's eating mac and cheese again. Call his doctor.
I love how everybody always freaks out about the NSA. Oh, the NSA is spying on us, then they know what we're doing. Your credit card
Amazon spying on you.
Your credit card company knows more about you than NSA, but you don't seem to have an issue with that.
Yeah, that's right. It's always weird when you go into Facebook after doing something like
Facebook. Facebook's the best.
The things that we talked about on the show.
Exactly. Facebook's the best. People are like, I can't believe they got robbed. Well, they got robbed because they told everyone they're going on vacation and basically where the key was. And that got shared to everybody.
There used to be a website that would aggregate everyone's statuses of vacations and that, and would post them. It's like, well, how do you think robbers do it? Duh. We're having a great time in Hawaii.
And we're having a great time rummaging through your stuff. JD's joined us. How you doing, my friend? Check that channel. He played a little Call of Duty last night. Enjoyed that. A lot of fun on JD's channel. Yeah, it always makes me laugh. I mean, technology is wonderful. But I'm just saying, my favorite thing is when people are like, oh, I sent my DNA to... Are you stupid? You sent your DNA to some company. They have your DNA now. Do you not understand that's a bad idea? Do you really need to know who your 15th cousin was back in the Victorian age in England?
We're all
someone with bad teeth. It's someone with bad teeth. That's all you have to know.
You want to know what's funny? Is my sister had it done, and my folks turned around and had it done.
Really? Are you talking about the DNA thing?
Yeah, the DNA thing. My sister just had it done. From that, you don't need to have it done because you're her parents.
That's so I don't care if my little friend, the speaker, knows about me. Everyone else knows about me. She plays me music. Alexa, what's the weather?
Right now in Burlington, it's 1 degree Fahrenheit with clear skies.
That's cold.
Forecast has cold temperatures with a high of 14 degrees and a low of 0 degrees.
We're going streaking.
No. Wind chill's been below 0 the last 24 hours up here. I don't know.
You want to talk about shrinkage?
So at least the gin and tonics are cold.
Yeah. JD says he's feeling no pain. He used different terminology. Stay safe, don't drive. And Josh D says some people argue that AI has already passed the event horizon of technology, singular, speaking of privacy. I just think it's funny to me. People complain about everything under the sun, and I'm like, your cell phone has, I'm not going off on the tinfoil. I'm just saying, think it out, people. People get mad at certain things that you laugh at. Like, I kind of want to, my favorite one was, I forgot what company it was when there was an unfortunate happening that I don't want to go into, but the FBI went to them and go, we need your help. Oh, we're not going to give you that information. But yet, when the country of China, they cooperated fully with the country of China because why? They want to sell stuff in China. I'm not going to go into that. I'm just saying it's kind of sadly amusing to me. Sadly amusing to me.
Well, anytime you go into CVS and you get the 8,000 foot long receipt with coupons that expire next week, because heaven help you that, well, on my coupons, because I'm married, there's some feminine products that are there. Yeah, I'm not going to need those in the next 8 days, thanks. And I don't need 25% off my next package of Dainty Fresh.
Price check. No. They used to do that in the movies every once in a while. I would just laugh. I think it was Mr. Mom. I laughed so hard as a kid. He had to buy the stuff for his wife. And they were no price check, Hank. No price check. Just give me a price, I'll pay it.
Golden Girls, they all bring up condoms on the Golden Girls. They buy condoms.
Golden Girls was kind of funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I like Golden Girls. People are like, Al, come on, you like Golden? Yeah, I like Golden Girls. It made me laugh. I like to laugh. You should be watching serious stuff like PBS. No, I don't want to be a communist. I like to laugh. I don't.
Masterpiece Theater's communist?
No, I like Masterpiece Theater.
I mean,
Caillou will turn you into a communist.
when I grow up, I want to be Maggie Smith on Downton Abbey, okay, and get away with saying stuff that you should not say to anybody.
I liked on PBS. They used to have Monty Python.
Yes.
Okay, on Saturdays.
Yes.
Which loved Monty Python. But then they had on Sundays John Cleese, Faulty Tower, which was freaking hilarious. Again, John Cleese it wasn't Monty Python, but they had him and another guy from Monty Python, I believe, and it was just hilarious. He had an inn or a hotel. It was hilarious, and they had vacationers. I loved it.
It was a bed and breakfast type thing.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget, PBS also used to run episodes of Benny Hill.
Yes, and they showed
they nudity.
Didn't edit them.
They didn't edit them. Not that he had much nudity. There was some episodes with some brief nudity, and I'll tell you a funny story about that. Channel 30, which was out of Connecticut, when they had local affiliate, a lot of different local affiliates. So we had NBC, a Springfield affiliate, and then we had the 30 out of Hartford, but actually just past Hartford. I forgot. And so we watched Benny Hill, and the same episode on a Saturday would come on twice, but we'd watch it over, right? Because it was funny, and it got you out of watching Lawrence Welk.
Oh,
people are like, what's Lawrence Welk? And the one. You don't want to know what Lawrence Welk was. It was awful. And so what happened was you're watching it, and then you click back over to Channel 30, and on a rare occasion it'd be a different episode, so you're watching it. And now this shower scene pops up, and everyone went,
hold on. What time?
And then everyone went up
a few minutes.
and said, oh my God, right? That woman was nude.
Okay.
Right? It was like literally 15 seconds, but you knew as a kid, you knew. And Channel 30 had to apologize. They didn't realize, they didn't go through, they thought it was edited. And they had a nude scene, like 15, 20 seconds. It was enough for me. It was boobies, and she was hot. And I remember that Sunday morning, everyone out goes, "Did you see the boobies? I saw the boobies. I like the boobies." And then my other friend's like, "I want boobies. I want boobies too, but I don't want them. You know." And then it'd be like that whole discussion of if you had boobies, what would you do with them? And I'd be like, I never come out of my room. I just. Anyway,
all right, I'm giving the signal. I got to go in a few minutes. I don't know who was Lawrence Welk's producer one year, but they snuck in as a pseudo country song, "One Toke Over the Line."
One Toke Over the Line. Oh my God, that has to. I would watch that.
I bet you could find that clip
on YouTube.
Lawrence Welk.
Now
of all things.
They were very talented. The Lawrence Welk. They were the singers, the music.
But think about this, Al. The song's about smoking pot.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I know what One Toke Over the Line is. That's why it's funny. It's on the Lawrence Welk show.
Right.
I bet that producer got not even fired. They probably shot him. They probably dragged him out back. They probably went, "You will stand against the wall now. Mr. Welk will issue the punishment." What's the blindfold for? You don't believe in God anyway. You boom. You know, it's just. Yeah, Lawrence Welk. I heard he was a taskmaster.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know the man. That's like.
No, that's the stories I've heard too.
You can find it. He was not fun to work with. Because people are like, "What do you think of Lawrence Welk?" And be like, they start shivering. "Don't hit me anymore. Stop."
Oh.
You want to know another hard-ass taskmaster? Ed Sullivan.
Really?
Oh yes, he was a beast to work with. Evidently, when Jim
Elvis.
Morrison,
Elvis refused to go on ever again because they made him do that stupid hound dog thing. He was so pissed off about that. And you tell the Jim Morrison story because I know it's a good story.
Jim Morrison, he was wanting to do
"Light My Fire."
Come on, baby, light my fire. And one line of the song is, "Let's spend the night together." By today's standards, it's like, whatever. Back in the late 60s, this was something, no. You don't say that on public television. Yep. And Ed Sullivan's producer went down to Jim Morrison and said, "Hey, listen, you got to have to change the line. You're going to have to say, 'Let's spend some time together.'" And Jim Morrison, high as a freaking kite, says, "Yeah, okay, whatever." Gets out there. And if you go and watch the video, he purposely
looks at the
sings
camera.
it, he looks at the camera, gives kind of a smirk, and sings it in the original "Let's Spend the Night Together." Ed Sullivan was furious.
Went nuts. Yep,
Went
that's
absolutely. Afterwards, he storms up to Jim Morrison and goes to Jim Morrison. "You are never going to play the Ed Sullivan Show again." And Jim looks at him and goes, "I've already played the Ed Sullivan Show," and just turned around and walked away.
Well, do you remember Jim Morrison got arrested in Connecticut for
supposedly
exposing himself? Yeah. They just wanted to get him. So, but again, you don't know. It was in I don't know. Was it Hartford or
I think it was Hartford. Yeah.
Yeah, Hartford, Connecticut, just down the road. One toke down the road.
Ooh. Apparently Ed Sullivan had Alzheimer's before Alzheimer's was a thing. And so if you listen to some of the stories of performers and producers from like the last 3 or 4 years of the show, he just had no idea where the hell he was. They just propped him up. He played with Topo Gigio and went on. But no, that's absolutely true. Bob Dylan was supposed to do the show. Same thing. You can't sing this. Bye.
Well, Ed Sullivan again.
Clinton Parks. It was the Rolling Stones. "Let's Spend the Night Together." But what was it? What was it from?
No, you're right. Jim Morrison sang. I think "Baby Light Your Fire."
It was "Baby Light My Fire."
I think that's what it is. Baby. No, but I know the story because they did it in the movie. I saw it on the biographies. I saw it on the Ed Sullivan biography thing. He was pissed.
But the Stones thing, when they changed it, you could Mick Jagger rolled his eyes at the camera.
Yeah.
But here's the point. You're going on Ed Sullivan, right? Right? Big show. He's asked you not to do something. Either say, "I don't want to do the show," right? But they let you come on to do the show, right? Don't be an a-hole. Just sing it. I get it. You don't want to sing it that way. It's silly. I understand that. But they're letting you on their show. That was one of the biggest shows. You know, when you're in someone's house, you go by their rules.
Establishment, man.
That's all. I mean, again, the eras are changing. Eras are changing. Okay, but Ed Sullivan was Ed Sullivan. They let you on the show. They didn't have to let you on the show. Jim Morrison, the Doors, were they big? Yeah, kind of big. They're not mega big. They were pretty, whatever. And then they burnt out. I mean, again, he died. But, right now, how many people listen to Jim Morrison songs? Put your hand down, OG. I'm trying to make a point. No, I like the Doors. I'm just saying. I listen to classic rock. I'm just saying, but, again, Elvis went on the show. He did what they asked him. Then he said, "I'm never going back," because he got pissed off. That's fine. Or you can say, "I don't want to do the show." Don't say it's kind of a Weasley thing to do. I'm just saying, when you say, "Yeah, we'll do what you want," and then you don't do it. Just say, I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I want to sing my music my way. I want off the show.
And a lot of people nowadays, a lot of the younger kids, don't realize how big Ed Sullivan really was.
Yeah, they don't get it.
This was before the internet. This was before when TV had 3 channels.
Yeah, and Ed Sullivan basically, when he did the music, OG and Ron, you can tell me, I believe I'm right. That was like MTV, before MTV.
That was bigger than MTV.
Until the final episode of MASH. The most watched non-Super Bowl was the Beatles the first time on Ed Sullivan. 73 million people watched that night.
Now, if the Beatles could cooperate, and their songs earlier, nothing but, you know what's funny about the Beatles? They sang a song, Revolution. If you listen to that, it's about not having a revolution, basically.
Right.
If you listen to it, people got so offended by that song. That's
not one of them.
Well, I'm sorry?
There's a couple Beatles songs that are pretty naughty, but that's not one of them.
Right, but people were jumped on that when I'm sitting there going, even as a kid, I listened to it. I'm like, listen to the song. Now granted you, I mess up lyrics when I was a kid, and it's just, but you get older, you listen. What were the people? They didn't listen to the song. They just heard the word revolution in the time period, and they're like, oh, it's an anti. I'm not saying they were establishment. They're not. I'm just saying, listen to it's a song, people. It's a song. Yeah. But yeah, I guess my point is, if someone lets you on your show, right, just either say you don't want to do it because you want to keep your music the way you want to sing it. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying, but don't say, "Yes, I'm going to do it." I mean, that kind of really.
No, I hear you.
It pissed me off because.
Do have to go in a minute, but it would be the same thing for comedians getting on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, which we remember. I mean, if you were a comedian,
love Carson,
and you did stand-up comedy, you did the Tonight Show, and if Johnny gave you the wink and put you on the couch, I mean, you made it.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's how much power that show had, and that's exactly
I remember when Billy Crystal first debuted on Johnny Carson. I remember when Drew Carey first debuted on Johnny Carson.
That was I watched that on YouTube. That was a hell of a set that Drew Carey did that night.
Drew Carey went through a lot in his life. I mean, with depression and stuff like that. Holy cow! But yeah, he's a very funny comedian. Very funny comedian. The one I used to always like was I liked Don Rickles when he was on there. I liked Buddy Hackett would go on there quite a bit.
Oh, Buddy got away with murder.
Buddy Hackett was the best. I'm not going to go through that whole. We went through that whole, but it was.
But he got away with more on with Carson
on regular TV. On regular, he. I can't. He
did the Frankie Filipino joke on the Tonight Show, and they ran it on Bleep.
Yep. They ran that joke. I can't do justice because I tried to do a couple of them, and just look up Buddy Hackett, and he's hilarious. I mean, look up his Vegas show. I don't know what year, but Ron knows the show. When those women were, but those women were horrified in the front of it, and it was funny.
This one's for freedom.
Yeah, and he goes, not like Walt Disney, is it? He's telling these funny, filthy stories. They're funny. It's supposed to make you laugh, right? But these women obviously didn't realize what the show. And he tells this clean story, and then he goes into the most filthy joke about two women and an alligator. And there's no punchline. It's just him starting to say it, and they're horrified. He goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Not like Disney. Hey, everyone. God bless." And he says thank you to everyone. He walks out, and I think he came on to do an encore. But Red Fox. The first time I heard an album, because my friend's parents had one, I was like, and I loved Red Fox. Now I guess he could be like, if he didn't think the audience was big enough when he got a little older, he'd get mad and he'd leave. Because someone told that. I think Richard Pryor told that story. It was funny, but I love Red Fox, and then. Just a great comedian, and oh my God! Because you didn't realize when you're a kid. Again, there's no cable, there's no internet. You know Red Fox from, and he was funny on Sanford and Son. But then you heard like, oh my God, it was so funny. Anyway.
You know another good one that if you want to look at kind of the times, the late '60s, early '70s, Laugh-In.
I never.
Oh, dude, you have got to go check out YouTube videos.
No, I watched it. It wasn't my cup of tea, as they would say.
I enjoyed that.
The thing I liked about Laugh-In, I think Artie Johnson was on that, and Ruth Buzzy. So let me. Okay, I liked Artie Johnson. So let me go back. See, now I'm trying to remember. I liked Artie. So I liked Artie Johnson and Ruth Buzzy. The whole old guy, old woman thing, and then the German thing was. Artie Johnson, another really funny comedic actor. Wow, that's a name.
Very, very young Goldie Hawn.
Yes.
She was
Richard Nixon, before he became president, went on there. Yeah, people had fun with it.
The thing I loved about it is Richard Martin's Laugh-In. I can't remember who it was, but his tagline was "You bet your biddy" or "Bet your bibby," something like. I can't remember that. He could not get that past the censors for the longest. It was just a nonsensical term.
Yeah,
didn't mean anything. But the censors were convinced it meant something naughty, and they wouldn't let him say it for the longest time. He had to convince them. It's just a nonsensical word. It doesn't mean anything.
The other. Was Lily Tomlin on Laugh-In too?
Lily Tomlin.
Yes, I actually did like Laugh-In. I like Laugh-In. I was getting, No, I liked she did the one ring a dingy, the two ring. Yep. Oh God, funny stuff.
Oh yeah. Good, clean comedy. Dean Martin would show up there on
Dean Martin. I'll tell you what, he had some of the best variety. You have to watch a Dean Martin biography.
Oh, I love Dean Martin.
Dean Martin was one of the nicest people to work with, and just nice person in general. Okay, people went on there. And he's like, so they do it, and there's a clip. Who was the woman who played the mother on the Brady Bunch?
Florence Henderson.
She's on there. She was a beautiful woman, and she was a dancer, right? And she was a singer. Yeah. Before the Brady Bunch, I remember. Well, she's on the show, and they're supposed to do this dance routine, and so she twists her ankle, and she goes down, and they're rolling, and Dean realizes. She's hurt. Now, And he's looking, and she's still sitting, you know, like, so he lays down next to her, and they do the song laying down, and he's laughing. And she goes, he was the nicest guy. Then when the camera helps her up, they take her off the stage. But his show, people wanted to be on that show because they had fun. He'd have John Wayne on because they were fun.
The secret to Dean Martin was that he never rehearsed.
No,
and so
they were going to do everything improv. Not improv, but, you know, like Ron said,
freeform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were going to do it. It was those roasts, the original roasts he did were hilarious. Then the second ones were okay too. But then when his son died in the plane crash, in the Air Force Reserves, he killed
himself after that.
He was never the same.
I mean, he really started to drink. I mean, he was never drunk on stage.
Because his gimmick was you drink a lot. I'm not saying he didn't, but he would even on his show, he'd be like, drink. It was iced tea or whatever. He wasn't drinking juice. Thank you, apple juice. It looked like whatever, hard liquor, and he'd do that whole, you know, like that. And,
that was his shtick. That was his thing.
Rickles getting on him on the roast, you know.
Funny. Don Rickles again, the best insult comic. Period.
And he did everybody.
He that was different because he made fun of everybody. That's a good comedian when you can make fun of everybody.
I mean, it was one thing to get Nipsey Russell and all that, but when you're sitting up there and bombing on Sinatra.
Here's another fun variety show, and I get Nipsey Russell and Flip Wilson. Flip Wilson had Geraldine, right?
Yes.
I love that show, the Flip Wilson show.
Yep.
Another fun variety show. And they don't have stuff like that. Again, people wouldn't watch it, I guess. I mean, the closest thing to that, Drew Carey did What's My Line? And it's not really a variety show, but it was fun.
It's all improv, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember the Sonny and Cher variety show?
First one was good. The second one, they were divorced. They hated each other. Well, they didn't. I shouldn't say hated each other. It was different. But Cher, when he died, unfortunately, with that horrible skiing accident, and Sonny Bono was an incredible person. People don't go look at his biography. Okay, here's a guy.
His cameo on Golden Girls is hilarious.
Yeah. Here's a guy. I remember. Here's a guy, right? He was opening up a restaurant out in California in one of those small cities, right? And they gave him the hardest time. And he goes, I just want to open up a restaurant and employ people. And I don't understand why it's so difficult to open up a restaurant when I'm doing everything you've told me to do. I've taken out the permits. Everything's done to code. And yet you won't give me my license. I don't understand that. And they said, well, if you don't like it, run for mayor. And he ran for mayor and he won. And people made fun of him when he ran for mayor. And then he was a good mayor of that community. He actually was a very effective mayor. And he said, I never voted in my life. He goes, but if this is what they do to, he goes, his line was, I'm sort of somebody at one time, right? And they're giving me a hard, imagine what they do to someone else. And he goes, I'm nobody. I haven't, I'm not, I just trying to open up a restaurant because I like to cook and this and that. And I make good food. And, I know how to run the restaurant business. And then he ran for Congress and they made fun of him and he won. And he was a very effective congressman. And then he had, I'll tell you, that's a day I actually teared up when he died in a skiing accident. He hit a tree. He went
down in Tahoe, I think. Yeah. All right, I got to go. So,
Uncle Ron, thank you very much, my friend.
Absolutely. OG, Al, we'll do this again.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care, buddy.
Good night.
So it's me and OG now. You want to stay on for a little bit longer?
Sure, I'm around for as long as you want.
Got Bubba Husky in the chat. Yeah. Let me just turn it over to you for a second. I got to check on my pops. So make sure everything's A-okay.
Yeah, Clinton Parks, bet your Bippy. Yeah, it was Bippy. That's what it was. Yeah, you are correct. You're just a font of trivia, Clinton. Yeah, with all this useful knowledge, can I be on Friday Night Trivia? He wants Beatles as his teammate. You would probably be very effective. So, and honestly, Bubba, he said he hasn't gotten any notifications all day. I didn't get any notifications for this either. I just happened to pop into YouTube and it just came up normally. So I don't know what YouTube is doing. I got no, I didn't even get Ron's announcement when he posted earlier. So, but I've gotten some others. I just don't know what's been going on with it. So, and Todd B's got a jet for the night. Good night, Mr. Todd B. Thank you for coming out. Always appreciate it. Let's see what else. Yeah, we tend to go off a little bit, don't we? That's okay. We like it that way. So, and we're talking about Dean Martin earlier reminded me of the Rat Pack, and I always enjoyed the Rat Pack. Here's a little bit of trivia. Who else was part of the Rat Pack, but most people don't remember or don't even know about it? Humphrey Bogart. He was actually part of the pack way back in the early days, but he decided he wanted to focus more on his movie career. So, but yeah, Humphrey Bogart used to run with Sammy Davis and Dean and Frank Sinatra. So, yep.
Oh, I love Humphrey Bogart.
Yes, Humphrey Bogart was a great
Casablanca. But I like Maltese Falcon. I love them both. Those are great noir, just great movies. They're fun movies. Just a really fun time. The Casablanca, Maltese Falcon, Sierra Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Sierra Madre, yep.
Great movies. And we got to do that one night, go through some movies. Not necessarily a list. A lot of people do that, and that's fun stuff too. But just, you know what movie's a great Western? Once, I just saw this a few years ago. Once Upon a Time
in the West.
You want to talk about someone playing one of the most horrific bad guys ever? Henry Fonda as Frank. I'm sitting there going,
oh yeah.
I couldn't believe. I'm like, and he played it to perfection. He was so horrible. And then you had Charles Bronson.
And
Jason,
2 horses too many.
Yep. Oh, that was a great line. That whole scene with those. Okay, you know the guy who's with the fly?
Uh-huh.
He's the doctor in Cannonball Run.
Mm-hmm.
That whole scene with the fly is hilarious. And he goes, "You brought 2." He goes, "Did you bring another horse for me?" "Nah." "Wow, I think you brought, like you said, 2 horses too many."
There were 3 of them, and there were 3 horses.
They're gonna gun down Charles Bronson. Frank sent them to gun this guy down. And they didn't gun him. And Jason Robards plays the likable bad guy, because in a spaghetti western, there's always the likable bad guy, and he played it. And that was probably the only reason why you thought he was a bad guy, because you knew he was wanted. In that movie, he never does anything bad to anyone who's a regular person. Now, if you weren't a nice person, you got in his way. He had no qualms about killing you, but you got in his way and you weren't a nice person. He saved the woman. Remember, she was going to get killed all those. He was, and the ending, I recommend it. It's a long movie, but my God, is it good. Once Upon a Time in the West, Sergio Leone.
Yep.
Excellent movie. And I don't want to just, you know what I just watched? I haven't seen in years. Bits and pieces. You remember Shane?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I can't watch that.
Lad. Great movie. Again, the movie making's different, so you get past that, people. The story's excellent. And I never noticed at the end, because it'd been so long. You know, the whole great scene. It was very, and you know what's? It goes back to The Thing. 2 of the characters in that movie are in The Thing. The reporter is the Swede, and the guy who's the bad guy is a scientist. I kept going, God, that guy looks familiar. And then he said a certain thing a certain way. He was a big guy, and I was like, that's him. It was hilarious. But that shootout scene at the end when he walks in there, and Jack Palance is the bad guy, which he played a lot of bad guys in the day, right?
He played a lot of bad guys, yeah.
He looked the part, Jack Palance.
Especially when they had him done all in black with the black hat.
He had the pistols on the other way. The 2.
Oh yeah.
He goes. I'm going to paraphrase, but he goes, "You're Wilson. I heard you're fast." And Jack Palance, and his gimmick there was he was always drinking a cup of coffee. You never saw him drink alcohol. It was coffee, right? And he's drinking a cup of coffee, and he puts down and he goes, "You might find out just how fast I am," because he's such a jerk. But Shane was a great freaking movie, man. And I didn't notice at the end his arm, like when he's riding away. I was like,
He'd been hit.
I knew he got hit, but I never noticed the way he was riding away, where the kid goes, he tells and again, it's the movie, the storyline's excellent. He comes out at the end, he's a killer. He's killed people. He's done a lot of bad things. He's a bad guy. He shows up. I want to say that was his girl before. That could even have been his kid.
Yep.
And I think he leaves because he realizes, I don't want to give him that type of, I'm a killer. This is what I do. And she marries the guy who's more, a hardworking guy, tough guy. The husband, and he goes back to help them, right? And he does. And then these people, they killed, you know, the bad guy, they kill someone. And he's been trying to, you know, the gun, he doesn't wear the gun anymore. And then at the end, he gets, and she goes, I thought you were done with this. And he goes, I am what I am. I'm paraphrasing, but I am what I am. And he goes in, he's going to kill these guys. And they know who he is, and they're fearful of him. Like when he walks in there, Devin in the chat, they go, we have no quarrel with you, Shane. It's with Joe. And he goes, I'm here to negotiate. What's the deal? Right? Because they're going to kill that guy. He's going to show up and they're going to assassinate him like they did the other guy. And that's when they go through the whole thing. But when the whole thing's said and done, the little kid goes, you're shot. He goes, I'm going to be okay. And he goes through that whole thing. The kid goes, come back with us. We want you there. He goes, no, Joey. He goes, I'm a killer. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm a killer. And he basically did say that. I'm paraphrasing a little, but that's the point. He goes, I'm a killer. He goes, you know what, Joey? You grow up, do the right thing, be strong, take care of your parents. They're good. Take care of them. He goes, come back, Shank. And he drives. And I've never noticed that. And I haven't seen the movie in years, but when he's riding away, you can see his arm, like he got shot bad. I mean, that's the way you interpret it. And he's like, wow, this is such a good. And again, the acting, the filmmaking's different. You got to get by that, people. Some people are like, oh, it's goofy, it's cheap. It's the filmmaking, the way it was done. The story's excellent. And listening, I really listened the other night when I was watching with my dad. The lines, I'm like, this is a lot darker than I remember as a kid, because you remember the other little kid who idolizes Shane. He's kind of a goofy, you know, he's a little kid. He idolizes Shane because Shane shows him how fast he could shoot and this and that. But how at the end he's again go, I'm a killer. This is what I do. I kill people. I'm a killer. You don't want that. He says, you don't want me around. I don't change. Now, he would never harm. Again, the reason why people liked him was he killed people who he was supposed to kill. Again, not condoning it, but in the movie. And those guys feared him. That's the only reason why they never messed with that guy, Joe, because he was there. Great movie, Shane. Highly. Once Upon in the West, Time in the West, Shane. You ever see The Searchers, OG?
Oh yes, my father loves westerns. I grew up on more westerns than I grew up on monster movies. Monster movies and westerns up till about the 70s, I've seen them all multiple times. So yes, and it's a John Wayne movie. How can I?
It's a great movie. I just want to say hello to Spicer 007 in the chat. Josh D. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Excellent movie. Excellent. The knife fight. Great scene. There's no rules in a knife fight. No rules in a knife fight. And he kicks him in the nuts. 1, 2, 3, go. Great movie. Great movie. Another fun. But The Searchers, right? Dark movie. Dark. Man, when I watched that the first time, I'm not going to give it away if anyone. I kind of gave away Shane a little bit, but still worth the watch. I mean, everyone knows how Shane ends. If you don't, my God. But great movie. I forgot how good of a movie and that whole speech. And that all comes at the end when even with the people there, they go, we thought you were past that. And he goes, I'm a killer. I am a killer. This is what the nicest guy, never pulled a gun. You know what I mean? But he goes, this is what I do. And again, I'm paraphrasing just a little bit, but that's the gist of it, right?
Yeah, that's completely the gist of it, yeah.
And it's shocking to me in a 50s movie because he actually says, I'm a killer. In one of those parts, I mean, he doesn't repeat it as many times. He starts saying a different way. He goes, I'm a killer. He never says I kill people. He goes, he might say hired gun after that. He goes, I'm a killer. That's what I do. And the little kid just distraught, like, come back. And he goes, you don't want someone like me around. And that speech when he goes to the guys in the bar, times are changing. He goes, your day's done. And the guy goes, your day's done too. And I think he says something like, he goes, yeah, but yours is coming sooner. Or something. Again, it's a pair. But he gives a line like, yeah, I'm going to kill all three of you, or both of you. 1, 2. Because he didn't see the third guy who shot him. The kid saved him. Shane. And he turned. He got shot and he killed the guy. But yeah, when he gives the line, he goes, yeah, your day's coming a little sooner. Great movie, Shane. Oh, awesome.
Another good one that I just absolutely love. Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Yeah, that's John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, and Lee Marvin. I just watched
Lee Marvin as the bad guy. Yep.
And he plays a tremendous bad guy.
A great bad guy.
And John Wayne, he saved the day, but he didn't get the credit.
He didn't get the girl either.
No. And you know what? It's again, he was in that movie. He's the likable bad guy. John
He
Wayne's
is.
a bad guy in the movie. But
yeah.
again, you have what they do so well. What makes those movies interesting is they have the likable bad guy. And you can do this with different genres. It's happened. Whether it's a gangster movie, you'll see a certain type of gangster. He's not nice. You have the other type of gangster. Okay, I do these things, but I don't harm regular people. You know, you see it in the movies. You actually even see it in real life at times, right? I do this to those people. This is a different thing, right? John Wayne in that movie is a bad guy, and they fear John Wayne. I mean, Lee Marvin, his whole crew, because he's a bad guy, and his crew will kill them. In fact, he's so bad, he doesn't. He's just him, and sometimes he has a couple of guys with, you know, not that there was his crew, but they feared him, and he's the likable bad. They even went to him and they go, "You need to run." They were so fearful of Liberty Valance that the townspeople go, because he never bothered anyone in town. Now, he was wanted elsewhere, but never bothered anyone in this town or in this territory. And they're like, well, he'll protect us from that nutbag, which he did. But he didn't get, because the way the guy wouldn't, the character Lee Marvin, the Liberty Valance, would never face John Wayne the way John Wayne wanted to face him. Because John Wayne challenged him, right? Am I remembering this? I just saw it.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, and
He
Lee
challenged him
Marvin.
and he didn't want nothing.
Lee Marvin stayed out of town most of the time.
Yeah, because they feared him. So, but he wanted Jimmy Stewart, because Jimmy Stewart stuck up to him. And John Wayne was trying to explain to him, before you do this, you do realize that.
And Jimmy Stewart was coming in as a lawyer.
Yes.
That way, he was coming into the territory as a lawyer, and Liberty Valance did not like that.
No, because he thought law was going to come, and they liked the lawlessness.
Yep.
That was another good one. You're right. That is a very good movie. I've seen it a couple more times. When I was a kid, I liked it, but I didn't.
It was slow.
Yes, but as you get older and you pay attention, because when you're a kid, you want the action, right?
Yep.
You pay it. I watched it, and that's a good one. Liberty Valance. That's another good one. Bubba Husky brings up Appaloosa. Who's in that? I'm not sure if I've seen that.
I think that was the guy who played Aragorn. That was a recent one.
Oh,
horse race.
Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen. Yeah, Viggo Mortensen.
That's the horse racing one?
I think that was the one he did if I'm remembering correctly. Like I said, if it's done after 1970, chances are I haven't seen it, even if it is a Western or a monster movie.
I don't know that. The name sounds familiar. Marlon Brando. Oh, I've seen this. Clinton is Marlon Brando in Appaloosa. Now I think I know this movie. I think I know this one. Okay. That one, I think. What was the other one? There's a lot of good Westerns out there.
Yeah, Ed Harris. Yeah, okay, so the one I'm thinking is Ed Harrison, and Bubba Husky's mentioned as Ed Harrison, Viggo Mortensen, Renee Zellweger, and Jeremy Irons.
But what's
Jeremy
the name
Irons
of that?
does a bad guy a lot.
What's the name of that one? That's the horse racing one. I've seen that one.
That's Appaloosa. That's.
Oh, that is Appaloosa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what's the one with Marlon Brando then?
Well, let's Google it.
He was in a Western. It was strange.
He was in a lot of.
It was strange to see him in a Western though, because I always remember him. It's just strange to see him in a Western.
Yeah, no, he did in '66. He did a movie called Marlon Brando did a movie called Appaloosa as well. Recover a horse stolen from him by a Mexican bandit.
Yes.
James Bridges, Roland Kibbe.
That was okay.
And Jeanette Comer.
Hidalgo. That's the one. Viggo Mortensen.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah. You're right. You are absolutely correct. Okay. Thank you, Bubba.
Thank you, Bubba. Yeah, the Searchers. Once Upon a Time in the West.
Oh, there's so many good westerns.
A Fistful of Dollars. The first. That's really, again, the revenge thing. Where again, the bad guy. He's the bad. Well, I guess he's a bad. Well, he's
a bounty hunter, and he does what he does to make the dollar.
I don't think he's not really the bad guy in that, but Liberty Valance, that's a great one because I just saw it again as a kid. It was a little more slow paced. Wasn't my top one. That's High Noon. High Noon is so good with Gary Cooper, and basically he cleans up the town, and they don't care about him no more, and they want him to leave because the other guys are getting out of jail. Who were supposed to get the guy was supposed to get out. He was supposed to hang, and they didn't get the death penalty. They reversed it. He's coming out, and he's coming to kill the guy who put him in jail. Great, and who's that? Who was Grace Kelly? Grace Kelly.
Yes.
That great movie. And at the end, that was a big thing. They tried to cut that scene out at the end when he takes the badge out, and he goes and he throws it in the dirt, and it's basically F you to the town people, right? Yeah, here. He was retiring anyway. He promised. Well, I don't know. He was going to leave with his wife, and no one wanted to help him, and he had cleaned up the town. No one wanted to help him. He's a dead man walking. They wanted him to leave town so he could get shot down on the road, basically. So he could get killed outside of town. Even as a kid, I knew that. As a piece of, like you're drinking coffee and that at the bottom of the coffee, it's icky. But yeah, great. That's another one. I love High Noon. I own that one.
Oh, Bubba's filling to say, yeah, Appaloosa is the name of a town where Harrison and Morstein are lawmen. I remember that. And yeah, Vigo's character uses the double barrel shotgun, and he guns down the other guy at the very end. So Ed Harrison doesn't have to, and so he can settle down. And so Vigo goes on the run for killing the one guy that was.
Okay, yeah, I've only seen that movie. I like that movie. That was a good one.
Tombstone.
Oh, Kurt Russell, Val
Kilmer.
My dad and I have debates because he's a big Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster, and I like them, but Val Kilmer, in my opinion, the best Doc Holliday
ever.
I'll be your Huckleberry, Johnny.
I play for blood. That's just my game.
Johnny Ringo.
Why, Johnny Ringo? It looks like someone just walked across your grave.
Yeah. When they ever did the thing and they're trying to talk each other out at the gunfight of the OK Corral, and he winks at the guy from Wings. That's hilarious because he knows he can trigger that kid, and he goes.
Well, and what's worse is as soon as he does that, Kurt Russell's like, oh my god!
Yeah, it's on now. And people have to realize that really happened. The gunfight at OK Corral. That's not fictional. Now, the account I'm not saying is exactly who dies and how it went down. That part's pretty accurate. What else happens? Who other people got killed. How they got killed. But which was another good one, and I just saw it again. My dad likes the Western Channel. As with I watch a lot of Westerns. My dad. I had never seen this one. It was Wyatt Earp was played by I'm going to say Jim Rockford because now James Gardner, and Jason Robar played Doc Holliday. It was excellent. Not as good, but it was really well done. And Jason Robar again plays the guy. I'll go take care of it. But Val Kilmer was outstanding.
Yeah, how he did not get an Oscar for that performance.
Oh, he should have won. He should have won that. I think he got nominated.
I don't even think he got nominated.
I don't think he got. That's the problem. Here comes the Oscars. They got to be good movies. Don't get me wrong. If no one went to see them, again, it could still be. Come on, they never. They get. And now the Oscar goes to 4 Peanuts and a Banana. It was a touching story about 4 peanuts and a banana that 5 people went to go see. Really? How does that get the Oscar? That's like The English Patient. I try to watch every Oscar movie. I don't, but I try to, right? And I remember, I still to this day, you know what? If you gave me a choice to watch the Star Wars movie we all hate, right? And An English Patient, and then there's that gun with 1 bullet in the chamber. I don't know. I might just spin, and I don't know. The English Patient, and it won everything that year. It sucked. Sucked. Horrible movie, and everyone's like, it's the greatest movie ever made.
It was an artsy movie. That's why they loved
it. Horrible. And I like movies, all kinds of movies. That movie sucked. Oh my God, sucked. I don't know. You know what I'd like? I'd like them to meld that movie with the Star Wars movie and come up with the ultimate sucky movie. Ugh. Take care, Clinton. I think Clinton's leaving us. Says, okay, kiddies, how many? Oh, no, I'm sorry. He says, okay, kiddies, how many movies has Bill Paxton and Michael
Biehn.
Done together? You will be surprised. 4. I don't know.
Michael Biehn played Johnny Ringo.
Oh, he played Johnny Ringo.
Yep, and
he was good.
and Bill Paxton was
one of the Earp brothers.
Was one of the Earp brothers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess all of them.
Hi, Nancy T. How you doing, my friend?
They've
good
done
friend of the channel, Nancy T. Yeah. Cowboys versus Aliens. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I don't care. People laugh at me for that. Listen, it's popcorn fun. I like popcorn fun movies. Clinton says 5. I was close. I guessed 4. That was a pure guess. I like Cowboys versus. That was Harrison Ford and the guy who plays 007. I believe. And they fought aliens.
Which guy? There was like 20 guys that have played James
Craig, the most recent 007 guy.
Okay.
But that's pretty funny. The Val Kilmer was great. That's another great. The Kevin Costner one, and
I didn't like that.
Quaid, too slow.
Very slow. Tried
too
to
slow.
Be deeper than it needed to be.
Exactly. There's no need to be that deep. You know what the best part of the movie in any genre you watch? You see the love that Doc Holliday has for Wyatt Earp, and again, they said it the best. They did it the best in the Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer one, and they've done it well in a lot of other ones. When he says, "Do you have a lot of friends?" when he's dying,
yeah,
and he goes,
it wasn't when he was dying. It was when they had got done with the shootout.
Yeah.
And across the river, and it's like, hell, I ain't never seen anything like that. And the one guy says, well, hell, I know why I'm here, Doc. Why are you here? Well, it's because, or he
goes, he's my friend.
He's my friend. Well, hell, I got a lot of friends.
And he goes, well, I don't. Yeah.
Yep.
And then when he goes, again, great scene. You don't know if it really happened. It's a great scene. I don't care. When he goes, can I have one of those badges? And Kurt Russell looks at him playing Wyatt Earp and goes, you didn't even want to be you didn't want to wear a badge when we deputized you, right? And he goes, I just want one for memories. And he takes it and he goes and he shows up where Johnny, because he goes, I don't think I can beat him. And he's honest in that. Well, again, it's the movie. We don't know what happened. He says to Kurt Russell, who's Wyatt Earp, he goes, you can't beat him. You can't. And he goes, and Kurt Russell's going to show up, and get killed basically. And he shows up. Right, because he goes right away, sick and all, and he goes, "I'll be your huckleberry." When that happened, I was like, "Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong." And he killed Johnny Ringo. He goes, "Johnny, I'll play you for blood." And they fear Doc Holliday. Do not trifle with Doc Holliday. And Jason Robards again. Check that one out, OG, if you haven't seen it. James Gardner and Jason Robards. It's not the best, but it's far from the. I'll tell you. They've made a lot. That was good. I would watch it again just because James Gardner was pretty much a dick as Wyatt Earp. Okay, he wasn't really likable at all. And Jason Robards is a likable character in the. Again, my favorite, Val Kilmer, the one in Tombstone. But then I like the Kirk Douglas, Burt Lancaster, which was called Gunfight at the OK Corral. Yeah. I like that one. Again, great movie. And then what was the other one? Victor Mature played Doc Holliday. And I always say Henry Fonda played Wyatt Earp. And it is My Clementine, I think it's called. In fact, they show that movie on MASH. That's like a movie they're watching. That's actually a good one, too. They've been, and my least favorite, and is the one with Kevin Costner, and I like Dennis Quaid, but it was so slow. Like you said, they try to make it more than this epic kind of look. It's a cowboy movie with a true story based on a true story. Again, we don't know how it all broke down. We're not there, but it happened very much like, and all these movies have some fact to them. I'm trying to think of any others, but yeah, that was Jason Robards was a good actor. As I got older, you see more of the stuff he did. He's a good actor. He did one movie. It was kind of a goofy comedy. That's what I originally remember him for when I was a kid. It was Matthew Broderick's in it, and he's like this rich grandfather who robbed something that they weren't quite sure what he robbed. Like he was a bank robber and he shows up, he's dying, and he wants to give his daughter and his grandson everything they ever wanted. I can't think of the name, but it was a really, and Donald Sutherland was the detective who was trying to catch him, who was dating the daughter just because he realized who he was. Max Dugan. Max Dugan Returns. And
Okay,
so
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
when I
know
saw
that.
these other movies later on, I'm like, that's Jason, that's Max Dugan. It was tough to, when you're younger, you're like, I didn't relate to it. And as I got older, I'm watching these movies, like, he's a really good actor. I mean, he's just an excellent. Something Wicked Comes This Way was this bizarre.
Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Yes, thank
Love
you, sir.
Absolutely
great movie, and horror movie, I guess, but really
suspense. I wouldn't say horror. More definitely
movie.
Suspense. Yeah.
Let me go to the chat for a second. Andrew McDonald says, like so many Western, Tombstone is great, but Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is my favorite, or at least one. Yeah, that's a great movie. I like it. And I used to like there's a TV show called Alias Smith and Jones, which was basically they took the take was they didn't die in Colombia. They escaped somehow, and they came back to the U.S. They're trying to get a pardon, and the governor of this territory said, we can get you a presidential pardon, but you got to go hunt these people down. And so they became Alias Smith and Jones. And that was a rumor. So they ran. I mean, they got killed in Colombia. Again, movie's excellent. Excellent movie. There's no rules in a knife fight. I mean, he kicks him in the nut. But there's so many great scenes. And a great line in that one, Andrew, and anybody, was at the end when the old man who was in Slapshot with Paul Newman, right? They're actually protecting. They were kind of joking with each other. We used to try to rob this, and now we're protecting it to make sure the miners can get paid. And the bandits steal the money. They go back just to get revenge for their friend. And Paul Newman says, he was Butch Cassidy. He says, that's the first guy I ever killed. All the things we robbed, I never killed anybody. He goes, that's the first guy I ever killed. When they killed the bandits. And then they took off. I think they took off with the money after to try to. They went back to Robbins, or maybe they brought the payroll back. I can't remember if they took the money or whatever, but they basically went back to get revenge for their friend who got killed. The nice old guy. They kind of liked him, and like, they shouldn't have died that way. Yeah, that's a great movie. I like that one. Great, when he's riding that bike and raindrops keep falling on my head. I mean, again, it doesn't really fit, but a great scene. Epic, or iconic. Not epic, iconic.
Iconic, definitely iconic. Yep.
Andrew McDonald says, kind of like the line from the movie. Butch Cassidy says, if he knew they spent that much to catch him, he could have paid him to stop robbing. Yeah, great lines. And what was the other one? Who are those guys? Remember? Who are those guys? The people who the Pinkertons were chasing them, right? If you look up the history of the Pinkertons, not nice people. I'm not condoning what Butch Cassidy and robbing. I'm just saying the Pinkertons were used to break strikes. They were basically hired thugs, and they would shoot anybody. Now,
well, I mean, take a look at Red Dead Redemption 2. It's the Pinkertons that were behind most of what.
Again, I'm not saying they're all like that. I'm just, they did a lot of strike busting in an extreme manner. I mean, so, and that went into the early 20s. I watched the History Channel. They were talking about West Virginia, and they actually fought little wars against coal mines. Yeah. History that was just. Wow. But anyway, Butch Cassidy's, that's another one. I like to watch that. Clint Eastwood, I like, again, Fistful of Dollars, Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Oh, the music. A
few dollars more, yeah.
That's my least, I like it. But of the three, that's and then The Outlaw Josie Wales. Great movie.
My folks wouldn't let me watch that when I was younger just because of the content. And
the one where he's a preacher, the Avenging Angel.
Oh no, not Outlaw Josie Wells. They let me watch High Plains Drifter. That was the one they wouldn't let me watch.
High Plains Drifter, not one of my favorite Clint Eastwood movies. I'll watch it, but it's not like I have to be in the mood to watch, because you're right, the content. As you're a kid, you're like, Hang 'em High was disturbing to me too. Mm-hmm. I like it. The worst one I already told you. I will never watch that. The Beguiled. They killed Clint Eastwood, those crazy bitches. They cut his leg off. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm going to get horrified again. Scariest movie I ever watched as a kid. As Josh D says, they wouldn't stop robbing banks even though they had enough. LOL, crazy. Some people just do that. I don't condone it at all. Yeah, it's not a good thing, but you know what was a good movie, and I watched it once when I was a kid, but John Wayne dies in it. I never liked anything John Wayne died. I've only watched The Cowboys a couple of times because, especially the way
I refuse to watch The Cowboys just because I know he dies in the end.
But The Shootist, I just watched that over.
I didn't like The Shootist.
Tell you what, though, the story is good. I don't like it because he dies, but the storyline is really well done, and Ron Howard's in it. And
didn't like Ron Howard. Ron Howard was the wrong actor for that role.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, but the story is actually really well done.
Yeah, the story is fine.
I was watching it with my dad. He likes Westerns. We were sitting down enjoying a Western, and not my Pale Rider. Yes, that's the one. I call it the Avenging Angel of Death. He shows up, and you people are effed. You pushed around these people too long. God has sent this guy to exterminate you, and he did. Well, almost exterminated all of them. He exterminated enough of them that they got the point. When he ever hit what's his face with the sledgehammer in the nuts, that was awesome.
One of the things I loved about that is the actor who played Jaws was one of the miners, and he was kind of a good guy. He was on the bad guy's side, but he was
at the end though. Yeah, he kind of liked the preacher. He didn't let the guy shoot him in the back. Remember? Yeah. I think it was the son, and that was Penn, Sean Penn's Chris Penn. Yep. That was a good movie. That was a good movie. I might have messed that up, so I apologize. I got a lot of movies running through my head. Yeah, a lot of good Westerns.
We still need to figure out how to do movies on via Discord.
I think we can. I don't think we get in trouble for that.
I just need to figure out how. We just need to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I think you can show, because it should be us and the people in the chat, and we're just watching it. We're not streaming. We're enjoying a movie together,
and it's not monetized. So
no, I don't think we get in trouble for that. Well, we'll find out.
I need to sit down and Google that here one of these days.
I think we can do it. And then when Al Red Sox fan is blown up off the face of the earth, when you showed a movie with your friends on Discord. Yeah, so what?
Because that'd be a good one to watch. Apocalypse Now. I got to sit down and watch that again.
That's a wild movie.
That's a great movie.
Good movie.
Deer
Hunter's a good movie.
Deer Hunter's a good one too. Yeah.
You might want to stay with. Okay, if we do this, we got to watch The Thing first.
Okay.
The black and white version, because we'll sit down, bowl of popcorn, watch it, discuss it. I love that movie. It's sitting in my. I watch that. It's right near my PlayStation because you can run movies in it, and I watch that. 10 minutes at a time. Sometimes I just want to see certain scenes, and the whole thing with the door is hilarious to me. Everything was behind the door, and again, the classic. Again, it was actually well done for that time period because the reporter Scotty wants to take a picture of the alien, right? The man from Mars, as he called him. They open, this thing's huge, right? And they shoot at it. They slam the door. He goes, "You get your picture, Scotty?" It's like, "No, you got in the way and I got knocked over." He goes, "You want me to open the door?" "No, I don't want you to open the door." It's funny. It was funny. No, it's that, and it was so. I just love that movie. That I think I have to be honest because I used to watch like Laurel and Hardy and Trees, but those are shorts. I have to be really honest. I think the movie that gripped me to say I like movies as a kid, and again, I'd watch Westerns with my dad and this, but you're playing with I'm playing with my little toys and I'm playing my Western watch. I for some reason, when that movie, The Thing, came on, even with the 4 o'clock movies when I was that's the one that hooked me where I wanted to watch movies. Let me watch these types of movies. They entertain me.
For me, it was King Kong, the original.
Oh, that was awesome. You know what? You are correct. I would sit through that even as a kid. But again, I would have my little monsters out and play. But King Kong still holds up. If you have not seen King Kong in the chat, you must watch the 1933 stop action motion, whatever it's called. King Kong is excellent. It holds up. It's a great movie. And for the time period, very risque. Again, get past. It always makes me laugh. I can't watch movies from then. they do it different. Are you that closed-minded that again? And most people who tell me these things are supposed to be quote unquote open-minded people. And I sit there, and actually, some of the most open-minded people that supposedly I know are probably, you would think they're worse than I am when I speak. At least I like people. I don't even know if those people like people. So I go, I don't get you guys. You know, you say I'm this and that, but you don't seem to want to help nobody. I mean, I might have a point of view, but I want to help people, and I just want to get there this way. You sure you went to Catholic school? Anyway, that's my little joke. Godzilla, love. Oh, don't get me started, Josh D on Godzilla. How they fix that fight with King Kong? I want a rematch.
I told you it was Don. It was a Don King. It was a Don King production. That's how it was fixed. You know, it was Don King was backing Godzilla. You should
backing King Kong, I think,
or backing King Kong. Yeah.
Now those were fun movies. The guys.
Oh, they were. They were
guys in costumes, basically wrestling. That was awesome.
Yeah. Another one that I love watching. Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Great
I remember. There's one scene when he's up on the boat and they go like this. You can see the zippers down his sleeves for the suit.
The first time I saw that, again, 4:00 movie, 3:30 movie for one of those times. I then went. I guess originally it was in 3D.
It was the third one. The Creature from the Black Lagoon had like 3 or 4 movies, and one of them was in 3D.
They redid the original because we went to a double feature. My sister took me, okay, at the X, which is no longer there. It was a movie theater. You know, when they had small one theater movie. I don't, maybe small town America they still have that. They don't have them around here no more. They were fun because you could afford to go them as a kid. They were $1. In the afternoon, we went. She took me, and it was in 3D. The first movie was Mars Attacks. You never saw. You look it up. You never see a Martian in the whole movie. It's just exploding rocks, which was really cool because the 3D worked well for those movies. And the movie was stupid, but that you're ducking and you're dodging because it's like, whoa, this is really cool, right?
Yeah, the entire thing was written around being 3D, not having an actual storyline. That's what most 3D movies were.
There was you never saw a Martian. It was Attack from Mars. I think the movie was called No Martians. It was just exploding rocks constantly. But the Creature of the Black Lagoon. Now I've seen it. I saw it I saw it 3 times before I went to see the 3D when they redid it in 3D and they re-released it in selected small theaters picked it up, right? And so you go there. When they shot the spear gun, holy crap, I ducked. And it was awesome. Another one of my favorite movies. Yeah. And you know what was great about that? They threw in that nonsense, which they always did in those 50s monster movies. They throw in that nonsensical love story for no reason. It makes no sense, but it's kind of, as you get older, it's kind of funny because you're sitting there going, I guess if there was a monster around, you're still going to try to get laid. I mean, the world's coming to an end, you think. You might as well have some fun. So.
Well, they did that to draw in the female audience.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the love story, you're not going to have.
And that's what drew the other. And they were fun movies. As they went, they got not as good, but I still enjoyed them. But that's the best one, and it's good. It's a good quality. Again, even with it's a good quality monster movie. The other one I always liked. The Werewolf with Lon Chaney Jr.
Lon Chaney, yes.
And when they did the stop action, when he changed, and he tells a story, it took so long to do that. Yeah. And that was good stuff. And I'll be honest with you, the one they did with Benicio del Toro, I liked. Everyone hated it. I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. You know, I have to read the book because I keep saying that, but there's a book, that I want, and they said they did the Benicio del Toro one, if I remember correctly, just like the book. So his father was a werewolf too, and I want to read the book to see if that's that's kind of neat.
Vincent Price movies also. Most is
Pit and the Pendulum.
My God. Any of his. Almost all the movies that Vincent Price ever did. Cheesy, yeah.
Entertaining, though.
And they were shot all on sound studios most of the time, but they were fun movies.
Okay, everyone knows I Am Legend, or I would assume it with Will Smith. Good movie. I didn't like the CGI in it. I thought it was at times bad, but I liked the story. I've watched that movie because I like that whole Last Man on Earth thing. And then the Omega Man, same story.
Man. Yep.
With Charlton Heston. Good movie. Again, time period. You have to you know what's funny? Tremendously violent, nude scenes and sex scenes, PG rating. Hilarious. Look it up. Unless they changed it, originally released as a PG rating. Hilarious. Because their nude scenes and love scenes were pretty intense for that time period. Actually, very intense. But I like Omega. But I'll tell you a version that very few people have seen. It's called The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price.
Yep.
Excellent movie. Again, considered a B movie. By B movie, I mean just lower budget, not because people interpret B movies as adult films, which yes, but not this. This is when I say B movie, I'm talking about just independent. We'll say lower budget independent. You know, it was so the storyline to me is the best storyline of all the ones I've seen, and those are the three. Sci-Fi did a sci-fi movie. Again, it's a sci-fi movie. It was interesting, you know, but whatever. But that one, Last Man on Earth, Vincent Price, and I believe you can actually look that up on YouTube because it's public domain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how I catch up on a lot of my Vince Price movies. Is I just go to YouTube. I mean, I've caught up. Sherlock Holmes. I was on a Sherlock Holmes kick for the longest time. I watched all the movies. You know, the 3 or 4 different TV shows that had been done over the years.
You brought up Sherlock Holmes. I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. I have the book. I've read all the short stories. I've not read they had 3 novels. I got to read those. I mean, I know them. Hounds of the Bastard. Now, the movies are on YouTube. The ones with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce, and they're fun. They're fun popcorn movies. But again, great. And what happened was Basil Rathbone liked the first one he did, and then he was under contract with that studio, and they had so much success, they just kept pumping them out. But they made a modern time. He didn't like that, and they got cheesier and cheesier. And he didn't want to do them, but he did all the ones that he had to. And once he was out, contract done, he never did them again. And to me, they were highly entertaining, popcorn fun. Good. But they would hit points, and I don't remember which. It was with Moriarty in one of them, and he wants to go talk to Basil Rathbone, who is playing Sherlock Holmes, and they basically lure Dr. Watson out. They say someone's hurt. And he goes and he grabs his bag and he goes, I've been retired, but there's no doctor around, so I'll go do it. And the point is they want to lure him away to guarantee that when Moriarty shows up, Holmes won't kill him. And when he gets in there, Holmes says, "What? I could shoot you right now and the world would be a better place." And he might have done it. He might have done it, right? Because that's what I liked about Sherlock Holmes. This is why I have problems with superhero movies. It's a weird segue, but I'll just tell it real quick. Superheroes catch people, and then they get out and do the same shit over again, sort of like our justice system. Boom, boom. Now, Sherlock Holmes, if you watch, not so much the old movies, but they do happen to do it in the old movies too. But if you watch like the Jeremy Brett, or even now the ones they do now, which are fun, they're fun movies, right? He would kill you if he had to. Kind of like that. And they would break the law to help people because they went, that's the law, but we got to help these people. I kind of like that too, right? So in one of the movies, I don't remember which one it is. It could have been the one where they're selling secret information to one of the World War II ones they did.
Yeah, that they did in the 40s. Yep.
Yeah, they did. It was a propaganda movie, fun stuff. Hey, Jake Cruz has joined us in the chat. How you doing, my friend? He says, I could shoot you right now. The world would be a better place. Paraphrasing, not the exact line, but that's the gist of it. And he goes, and so Moriarty goes, "Oh, I wouldn't do that," because he has a great comeback. He goes, "A dear friend of yours might not make it back here if I don't leave this room in 5 minutes." And then Sherlock Holmes, played by Basil Rathbone, delivers a wonderful, again, lines are, this one, again, I might mess up a bit, but he basically says, "Look, if anything happens to that dear old man who I love, there'll be no place on earth that will be safe. I will find you and I will kill you." And that's pretty much straight up. That's a great line. So they have their conversation and he leaves and, Watson comes back. And that's one of those lines that sticks with me because Princess Bride had another great line. Best line. Another wonderful line in movie history. He caught the bad guy who killed his dad. And this is supposed to be the bad guy, Inigo Montoya, and you love him. Great movie character. Again, fairy tale movie, wonderful movie, Princess Bride. And they did it perfectly because they made it like an old school cheesy And when I say cheesy, there's nothing bad with the movie. It's well done, right? And he goes, and he's all, you think he's gonna die, and he's all stabbed up, and he gets the guy, and he does what he did to him when he was a kid. He slices his face, and he goes, "Now I want you to promise me everything I want." And the guy is pulling out a knife as he's talking to him because the guy's not gonna give him shit. He's gonna kill him, right? Because he sees the guy. He's all, I mean, he's gonna die, right? And he goes, "Promise me riches." "Oh, yes, yes. Promise me women. Promise you this." And he goes,
Everything your heart desires.
and then the guy goes to try to, and he gets him, he kills him, and he goes, "I want my father back, you son of a bitch."
Yep.
And then he staggers away. And again, because it's a cool movie, I honestly, the first time I saw it, I thought he was going to die, even though the type of movie it was, and he lives, and I like that. But that would have been, and if it was a more serious movie, where you stagger away, and you just, you help the other people, and you're, boom, you die. But
Manny Pataki.
Loved it. Loved it. Great movie. But yeah, Sherlock Holmes, good stuff. Love it. Do you like the Jeremy Brett stuff?
No.
Oh, I like that one.
I
I'll tell you,
not so much.
I think the reason why I like that, and I like them all. I mean, I like them all because they're the closest things to the book, and I just wanted to see like the book acted out. And they have some good. The Red-Headed League. If anyone goes to my liked videos, because I don't hide my liked videos, I like this. I say I like it. Check them out. I watch the Red-Headed League a little bit almost every night. I love that. That is my favorite Sherlock Holmes shorts because it's funny and yet they have that the good stuff in it. It's like one of those comic kind of. It's fun. It's well done. I love the Red-Headed League. Great stuff. Great stuff. What's your favorite of genre of any type of the Sherlock Holmes?
It's got to be the Basil Rathbone, but when they're doing the original stuff, not when they moved into the 1940s. When he's doing Hound of the Baskervilles, when he's doing even though
they did it updated, but they were still doing the storyline.
Yeah, it was still the original story set in period time. I mean, you've got to do the original. I don't like the absolute newest Sherlock Holmes with the Cumberbutt or whatever it is.
Oh, those are pretty. I like those too. I have to admit,
I don't like that. And who's the female playing Watson now? Lucy Liu.
Oh, that's on CBS. That
one
was I couldn't get it. It's entertaining. It's tough when it has nothing to do with that she's a. It's just
I can't stand her as an actress.
Yeah,
I looked at her and there's something wrong with her face.
Yeah, I do like the Cumberbatch one. I think they take the book stuff and they move it modern. People do. I could see where you have an issue with. I didn't think I'd enjoy it. It took me a while to watch it because my brother-in-law, my nephew said, "My God, you read all this stuff. You've enjoyed it. You can, they do this. I like it. I understand. But the Basil Rathbone ones, again, very enjoyable. The
ones I also enjoyed too, and I've watched most of it, is the 1950s. The weekly episode. I cannot for the life of me remember.
Oh, the 20-minute shows or 25-minute.
Yes.
YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there's a playlist and there's like 130 of them, and I've watched them all.
I know. I've seen
them. Were enjoyable. I enjoyed those.
It's amazing. It's amazing to see them do a Sherlock Holmes thing in 25 minutes, and it's funny to me. Yeah, those are pretty good. I'll tell you I do like the Jeremy Brett one. My favorite one, as I said, the Red-Headed League, and that's a regular Sherlock Holmes story. So they have the audio book if you want it. They have the BBC radio show if you want to listen. I enjoy the Jeremy Brett one. Again, look at my liked videos. It's there like every day. It's always near the top or great because I watch it every night usually or listen to it just a little bit before I fall asleep. And the other one, another Jeremy Brett one, Silver Blaze, where it's a horse racing one. And that's pretty good. There's a lot of there's a really dark one, and this one's one of the novels, I believe. The Master Blackmailist or something like that. The only one I've ever seen was the Jeremy. I don't think anyone else has done a version of that. And if they have, OG, and just tell me because I will make a big bowl of pop, and then man, when that son of a bitch gets his at the end. That's a stand-up. That man is a horrible, horrible person, and I'm not going to get. It's not Sherlock Holmes who gets him, believe me, but someone gets him. Sherlock Holmes, and the best one was Sherlock Holmes is going to kill him. That's the best part. And again, great line in the in the show, because I've not read that one, because it's a. He goes, we might have to commit some crimes, Watson. Are you up for it? And he goes, yeah. Are you? He goes, yeah. It's just like, I don't know. I love Sherlock Holmes. That's
Yep,
it.
good
Oh
stuff.
God.
Good stuff.
You know, I guess they did some cheesy ones too. I kind of want to see. I saw it, but I think they did Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper kind of thing.
Yeah.
I never. I know it sounds cheesy, but I kind of want to watch. I don't know. I clicked on something trying to find it, and it wasn't. It was just like it was a baloney thing. But that kind of sounds interesting. Or like Sherlock Holmes versus. I think they've done with like versus Dracula. Again,
Yeah.
interesting concept. It's a fun concept. Know why they've not made a bigger movie that way? It's a fun concept if you think about it. I mean, instead of having Van Helsing, you have Sherlock Holmes, and maybe Van Helsing is called in to help, or you know what I mean? It's just a fun. Wouldn't that make an interesting kind of monster horror movie? I think it would.
Of course.
No. As my God, What's Blazing in Sports is still with us. God bless you, my friend. Check out What's Blazing in Sports, all things boxing. Oh, Andrew McDonald says, have you checked out Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective? I have a game on PS4. I played a bit. I'm not good at it. I did enjoy it, but I had a lot of innocent people go to jail as I made a lot of bad choices, I guess. And then what happens is you're like, I thought it was the right choice. God, that sucks. Sorry you're hung. You can't do nothing about it now. But there is a version on Steam. I don't know if it's the same one. How do you like that game, Andrew? It is fun. It's just not my type. I wish they did one more like the Walking Dead series. I'd like it probably
Telltale
better.
Games, yeah.
Yeah, which is done. Telltale Games, I believe, you're going bankrupt. They finished up. They finished up the last. That I would have liked it more. That the PlayStation game is good. It's just, man, it's not forgiving. You want to talk about not a forgiving game? You make one mistake, you interpret one clue wrong. Now, grant you, I interpreted several clues wrong. I did get two of the right people, but the third person, who unfortunately got hung, I think, was an innocent person. He did not actually kill the person, but shit, I made a mistake. Andrew McDonald says, the board game very detailed and very difficult. You know, OG is a board game war game player. That kind of sounds funny. But that let's just segue to a different thing real quick. You want us to keep going? I'm
as good as long as you are. As long as people are willing to listen to both of us ramble on, I think we're both
he talks about games being difficult, and OG, the Devin, the original Grognard, we've talked about this when he'll be playing a game and I'm enjoying it, and then we'll talk offline. Like after this, we have our after chat post-production meetings, which are really funny.
And usually conversations with HR.
Yeah, which if we actually recorded them, you guys would love, but we'd pretty much be kicked off YouTube for sure. We're funny anyway. I think we entertain.
We're freaking hilarious, Al.
All right. I was being a little more modest. You're right. We are freaking hilarious. But the shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Board games. There was a game. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And you know, but there were rules. But like you said, the rules made the game no fun. So like when Andrew brings up, and it's not a military strategy game, but he says it's too. When something becomes even a PC game, whether it's sports, and I lose a lot to the PC football engine. And it's funny because I will play games offline. I win some, I lose some. I put them online, and the most bizarre things happen. Pass interference on Lester Hayes. I swear to God, who never got a pass interference call on him. Maybe one, but hey, I got the one out of the million, right? Anyway, but when games, let's just go to like RPG games or adventure games or shoot. When you make something overly the top, okay, I bought a game called Cuphead. Beautiful artwork, wonderful music, looks goofy and easy. It's not. To me, they made that game way too difficult. And what happened was I got and I have friends who finished the game or I just got too frustrated with it. I'm like, listen, there should be a way, and there's no way to level it down, I guess. I'm almost positive because so I understand what Andrew's saying, and I just want to get your take on it, whether the rules don't make sense. I mean, those things could ruin a game. I'm trying to develop a football game. I'll never probably get to it, but I have fun trying to develop it. Not talking about when I mod my Fran Tarkin. This is like my own. But You sit there and you go, oh my God, this isn't going to come out right. How do I do this? What do you, and Ron brought this up before and he's gone now, but that was something just popped in my head now about when you're trying to when you're playing a game and the rules either don't make sense or they make it overly hard, do you mod them, or do you just, because I've said, why don't you just mod it? And you just, you said, yeah, I could.
Hang on one sec, Al. I got some technical difficulties here.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, that's a really good point, Andrew. And anyone in the chat, when you go to play a game, whether it's a video game or a board game, and they've made it, you want it to be challenging, but again, you're playing a game. I think sometimes they go overkill on some of these games. It's got to be fun. I don't want it to be easy either, and I enjoy my sports sims games. They're wonderful. I'm not talking about those, but sometimes you want to. The Sherlock Holmes game that I played, again, was fun, unforgiving. And I get that. You're a detective. You got to make the right choices. But when I saw that in the chat, I was thinking of something OG and I talked about. He was playing this military strategy game. Again, I'm horrible with names, so I apologize for that. And I said, oh, it's an interesting game, but he had mentioned that the aiming and the attack, I want to say it was the sighting is clunky. And I said, yeah, it makes no sense how those guys, they have the high ground. They should be able to see, you have the high ground. You should be able to see better. Remember the game about the sighting? That's the one that's sticking in my head. I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anytime you get to a tactical level, the sighting, especially when you start throwing hills into it or multiple elevations, it can be either really simple or it could be really, really advanced, depending on how realistic you want it to get. Now, a lot of times games will be, you see this in video games, you see this in board games, really, really hard, because there is actually a small segment of people that really, really like those difficult games. For video games, Dark Souls. Dark Souls is,
oh my God, that is wicked unforgiving.
I will never play that game. It is,
and people can jump in your game and shank you.
Yeah, oh yeah, and there's that.
Sucks.
But Dark Souls is one of those games I will never play because it's designed to be really, really hard. I'm not into that. That's not why I play
exactly. And you can get shanked by people who just jump in your game. First time I got shanked, I'm like, I'm out of here. Never playing this game.
Goodbye. So, but in the board game community, the wargaming community, where I'm from, Advanced Squad Leader, probably one of the 3 most difficult complete war games in existence. And Dan Greenwood, the guy who wrote the rules, when he was writing them, says, I don't know why we're doing this. No one's ever going to play this pile of crap. And it is actually wildly popular. There are a group of people in the. It's a niche.
Is it something to do that they've interpreted it and they enjoy saying, "I figured it out"? And
yeah, there is that part, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I was into ASL for so long. It's like, all right, I
get it.
Self narcissism saying I play ASL, but there are people who really, really enjoy it. The problem is it's a lifestyle game. It's about the only thing you're going to play if you want to be good at it, and that's not for me. I want to play a whole bunch of games.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I like games that are on the lower end because, one, for my channel, I go through a lot of games, and I don't like trying to memorize a lot of heavy rules. Now, there are some rules-heavy games that I enjoy, but that's not the majority of them. There are people that do it. I get it. More power to them. I've been there myself. I've been there. I've done that. The older I get, it's like I don't want a lot of hassle and fuss in my games.
No, and that's the same thing. Much lesser, because a sports game is a sports game. I do some card and dice. People see me fumble through that. I enjoy it. I go at my speed. If it's not for you, that's fine. I'm enjoying my game, and I had iScore up, figuring that out. That was a lot of fun. How do you do this? It's a great thing. I recommend iScore if you're playing. Even if you're scoring if you have to score a game for your kid or something, or anybody. But if you're doing card and dice, and Combat Painter uses it, and Itinerant Hobbyist uses it. We got to get him on to do a.
He said he
wants February.
But it's going to be in February,
right? Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to have him on. Different type of chat. We might go. And we got to do our military thing too. I have Little Bighorn in my head because I've been watching a lot of stuff on that. And I want to do that one, but we'll stick to World War II. But let me go to the chat real quick. My point is, if it's difficult for me when I'm playing a couple of different dice baseball games and I start to get, again, Strat, as much as I bash.
Strat's too heavy for me. I mean,
as much as I bash Strat, I still, because it's the first baseball game I ever played as a kid.
I get that. I totally get that.
I love it. And I bash them because they're horrible customer service and they charge way too. Well, it's not even that they charge reasonable. They never have sales. And every time they say they have a sale, I know I bring it up a lot.
Your coupon doesn't work.
my coupon doesn't work, and it pisses me off. So whatever. And I still buy the stuff because I'm stupid. But anyway, now a military strategy game. Oh my god! When you're trying to deal with different rules, that must be mind numbing. Let me just go to the chat real quick because Bubba Husky says, "I'm not sure if I know." He goes, "I think I saw the Seventh Seal when I was about 11 or so, and that was intense." I'm not Bubba.
Johnny Depp.
Seventh. I don't think I ever saw that.
He's a book collector, and he comes across a book that will allow him. Okay, you know that, yeah.
I know it, but I've not. I didn't. I saw another John. I saw another Johnny Depp movie where he was schizophrenic. He had two personalities. He actually was the killer, and I liked that one. But that was with something different. So,
but okay. Yeah, no, Seven Seals was a good movie. I enjoyed Seven Seals. So
Bubba Husky liked it too. I'm just going back to the chat real quick. Andrew McDonald, some war games when it takes an hour to simulate a 2-minute dogfight makes little sense. I have trouble with hockey games for the same reason. Yeah, you know, it is funny because you're playing a sports sim, right? And you know, sometimes you actually go with something like he just brought up a great point. Sometimes it goes longer than it should because, especially if it's card and dice, you interpret the rules or you just. But the way I look at it. And again, obviously with Andrew, and it's fine. If you're not, and I say this with anything, any type of gaming, if you're not enjoying it, I agree with Andrew. Don't do it because they ain't worth it. Regardless if you're streaming, I like to stream certain games because I'm going to be honest with you. I will listen to them over. I love to pick out my stupid mistakes I make, like Al. That's not the way you say that guy's name. It's Jeff, not Jim. You know, not Jeff. But the other thing is, I enjoy. Just listen. I like the fictional. What if this team played that team? They never played. We roll the dice. I call the game. It's enjoyable to me. But if you're not enjoying any game, there are games I bought, video games on Steam. I start playing, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this game. Now, when you only pay $5, I'll tell you what, I found more enjoyment in some $5 games than when I buy them for PS4. I bought a couple of Call of Duties, and I started playing them like, yeah, I don't like it. They made it too hard for no reason. It was hard, and it was intense and fun before. Now you got to do this. You got to look. I just want to play the stupid game, and I don't want
to shoot people.
And here's the problem: if you try to go to, and I don't think they do it anymore, but some of them you could tone it down, right? It's too easy, but the normal is too. Just go back to the way it was. You don't have to make it mega hard, you know. If a game doesn't capture me, Andrew brings up a point that I can lead into. If a game, I have Red Dead Redemption 2. I played a little bit of it, and I've seen all my friends play it. I've enjoyed it. I went back to play. I'm like, yeah, it's all right. It's good. And it's a great game. I enjoy it. I love watching JD play. I love watching Dog play. Okay? And they're talking about it. I love the story. But then when I start playing, I go, I just want to get things and shoot. I want to shoot stuff. It's a game. I want to. Okay. The game that really, it was 18 something. Not the price, the name of the game, 1896 or whatever. It was like a werewolf game, and you were this secret society trying to defend mankind against horrible things. I'm like, this is cool. My friend let me borrow it. I was actually going to buy it. It played very quick, he told me. He goes, no, he goes, when you're done, give it back to me. So after the second day, I go, God, the cutscenes are really long, and you can't get around them. You couldn't. They made it that you had to watch the cutscenes for how, and by the time you could get around it, you might as well watch the rest of the cutscene because it's basically 15 more seconds, right? So I'm enjoying, and I'm like, by the third day, I played 3 days. I go home after work, play, but I remember popping out going, it's too bad. I really like this game, but I don't like it enough for this aggravation. And that was more the cutscenes. And I remember he goes, I thought you liked it. I go, the cutscenes are killing me, man. They're killing me. That's the beauty of Left 4 Dead. You pick it up, you play. It's fun. I get it. I want some stuff. Sometimes you just want to shoot stuff or jump over stuff. And I don't know. And it's funny. I've read a few things. And again, Red Dead Redemption 2, I've only played the beginning of it. It drags. And even my nephew says, you got to get past that, Uncle Al. And then you're going to. I say, I know. I've watched Dog play, my friend Dog. I've watched JD. I love it. What happens is I start to lose interest. I don't want to, just get me to this part. Get me to this part. I don't want to play that. I mean, that happened with a couple of games for me, but that's, I think when you're making a game, a board game, you got to make it so it's playable. That's my Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming. He developed a boxing game. It's excellent in my opinion. It'll be coming out sometime this year, pretty soon actually. He's just trying to get his costs where he wants them so people can actually purchase, as opposed to you can PD. I think he's gonna have PDF too. But something about when you get a game you really want, it is kind of cool to get it in the mail, and the cards are nice. Like he was kind enough to let me have a beta to test the game. It's very fun, and I did a video of it. And he's done some videos. He just did John L. Sullivan and Anthony Joshua. And again, people, it's a game. It's a sim. It's a sim. These people that go, I'm not saying like I did a sim one time. The guy went, no, I'm like, it's a sim. These people never fought. I get it. There might be the weight different. I understand all that. I'm just simming it. I'm enjoying the theater of it, right? And you know what? And I've told you this, OG. The point was he agreed with the result. He just didn't think
Yep.
the guy couldn't get knocked down. Well, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying it's the sim engine, because you just say that one fighter didn't really take. He did take a beating at times. He was George Chuvalo. He did take a beating, and I like George. I was lucky enough to meet. He's still alive. I was meet him at a boxing event. But anyway, again, it's a sim engine when it's sports. People who go nuts. Blah, 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 blah. It's a sim engine. It just drives me a little bonkers about that.
Dude, we got the same people in the wargaming community. I mean, they're everywhere. It doesn't matter what your hobby is.
Thank you. Yeah. What's your favorite? What is your favorite? What's one? You don't have to pick one. What board strategy game? I'm going to assume military, but it might not be military. I mean, what's your favorite strategy?
My top 5. And
yes, give us a top 5.
It's hard for me to rank them because
just 5 or whatever. Okay. 3, 2, 10. If you want to go through 10, I don't care. We got
the Fleet series. The Fleet series from Victory Games. It's a modern day, 1980s Cold War.
Okay, so Fleet. I'm going to stop you after because again, I have not played the and I know you're going to explain it, but there's what. And I know you'll tell me what you're going to like about it, but why do you like it? And is it good for solo? Because sometimes a lot of war gamers are going to play solo and you're going to play head-to-head or multiplayer because Fleet, what was it? Fleet?
The Fleet series. It was
okay.
6th Fleet, 2nd Fleet, 5th Fleet, 7th Fleet, 3rd Fleet. I mean, it was basically each ocean has its own United States Naval Fleet. Depending on where it is, that's what the designation is.
Was it World War II time period or Cold War?
It's Cold War, 1985.
Okay, yeah. More modern.
So
okay,
Cold War. 6th Fleet is the Mediterranean, 7th Fleet is the Pacific, 5th Fleet is North Atlantic, 5th Fleet is Indian Ocean, I think. Oh God, my mind is. Oh, this is so embarrassing. But anyways, they're different fleets for different oceans, and so each game covers a different theater. And 6th Fleet was the first one that covered the Mediterranean. It can be played solo. It's better. Any war game that's designed for 2 players is usually better played 2 players.
Right.
But, a little bit of a suspension of disbelief. People, come on, just play both sides to the best of your abilities, yada, yada, yada. You could do it that way. So I enjoy it because it came out right when I went into the Navy. And I was down at the hobby store when I was stationed on my first ship, and I looked at the back of it, and there was a counter of my ship on it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get this.
Cool. That's cool. That is cool.
So that's why I picked that up. It's a fun, enjoyable game. As the series progressed, it got a little bit heavier rules wise. 6th Fleet was probably they made it more complicated. Than
why do you think they did that? If people were now the game must have been people were. Oh
no, go ahead.
Oh, my point is, if they kept making the series, it must have been selling well, right?
Oh yes, it was one of Victory Games' biggest sellers. So, and they kept adding more layers of realism in it and they made it more complicated than it had to be. I get the reason. All right, we need to put special rules in for cruise missiles. We need to put in special rules for submarine under the thermal layer. Okay, I get that.
But they could have stopped there.
They kind of went overboard with it a little bit. Now, that's not saying I'm not going to play it. I still can play it.
Now, I'll give you an example of that with a video game. Football, Madden. Again, basically, they changed. I'll never forget when I stopped. Okay, there's 2 reasons why I stopped buying it. One, I was big at, they always had the old teams. Now, grant you, they had no rights to any of the name, but I would sit there for hours and make the teams. make the name, and you could actually pretty much get they had the way you could tell who it was they had the right, how tall they were, the body size, and if you went to Football Reference, right, and they said what college they went to, so it was very easy. The thing that messed you up was the modern football teams have X amount of players. So even the old teams, they gave them X amount of players when really they only had 42, 45. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do, and I would anyway. But they took that out, which pissed me off because that was my favorite thing. I'd play the Patriots season real quick, and then I'd go make I'd have these classic matchups, you know. And then the other thing was they changed the way some of the controllers went. I was like, now I'm an old guy. I get used to things, right? And again, I'm talking years ago. I'm like, I didn't like it. I'm like, I don't like, and a game is fun. I watch people play it and they're good at it, and it's still a good game. I'm just saying they changed it. Complicated is not what you're saying to me. I'm just saying the change. I didn't understand why they changed. They took something out that I loved, and I realized I bought the game for the old teams.
Sometimes they change it just to change for change's sake. They don't want, all right, we don't want the same game as we put out last year. Well, you know what? Sometimes there's nothing wrong with the game that was put out last year.
Yeah.
So
the game it's good. They just complicated it more, and I get the cruise missile thing when you said that. And I get because it's different. That wasn't part of the other games. You got to make, but you probably didn't have to make. You just had to make separate rules for it. This is the way this plays, and it sounds like they went a little too far. So that's cool.
They did. Another one of my favorite games is the Advanced Tobruk system. It's kind of, a lot of people in the community call it Advanced Squad Leader Light, because honestly, it really is ripped straight off from ASL. The guy who designed it, Ray Tapio, was a huge ASL player back in the late 80s and early 90s, and I can get into it for hours and hours. But basically, he wanted a game that was quicker, lighter, and easier to play than ASL.
That's fine. So you could grab maybe someone who wants to play that game and is frustrated maybe by the rules or the gameplay. I don't know if rules are there. I guess it's rules. The way to play the game. Yeah. Or they get frustrated by that, or they don't. Hey, sometimes I told you when I was a kid, I was fascinated. I read something about Tobruk. I bought that game, and I asked you when we first, how hard is that game? Because I remembered it. Again, you have to understand. I think I'm not lying. I bought Strat. I know exactly it, and I bought that game, right? And they came. I couldn't afford. I had to wait, and you go down. It didn't even come to my house. I had to go to the hobby shop.
Yep.
So and then what happened was I couldn't again, you told me that's like a really hard game. Not a good one to start as a child.
Not a good starter game at that age. No.
So I was like an 83 version. I'm 12, right? And what I did was I modded it to play because I loved playing. I loved all the little, all the squares and this. I still have it downstairs somewhere. I throw nothing out when it comes to game. But yeah, I get that. So he made an easier version.
It's an easier version of ASL. Yeah. I mean, it's still weighty. I mean, you're still looking at like 60 pages of rules, but it's not ASL. So it's my go-to World War II tactical system. Todd and I have played it several times.
I'd like to see if you guys have time, you and Todd, to do some collaborations again, because that's when I first came across you guys. You guys were playing against one. I think it was a PC game. That was
we were playing on Vassal. I think no, he was doing a live stream, and you were asking questions about it.
Yeah, no one was talking to me.
Yeah,
and you were the only person who said answer my question and said hello. I'm like, well, you fed the stray dog. Now it's your trouble. No, that's in the community's nice. It's just I don't know if sometimes I think someone because I'll come in and I'll say hello and I'll start and I don't know if they think they're being trolled, but I just like to ask questions. I'm like, that's a pretty cool game. But now the one you bring up because I wanted to learn it. Because they had a DNBN Foo tiller and I downloaded the freebie Grenada mission. I don't understand that. And again, I'm not a stupid person. It's just I want to move this thing there, and it will. I can move it there, but how do you move it? I'm like, I'm used to Order of Battle. I know it's simplified. It's
Order of Battle. Nothing wrong with Order of Battle.
You move. You say yes, you can move there. You click on it, it moves. You have these units in the area. They support you. You can do this, that. I know a lot of people because I go, oh, what game? I like Order of Battle, and I'll watch it. And they're like, yeah, we hate that game. I'm like, okay. And they're nice. They're not being mean to me. They just don't like that, and I don't understand it because they like a certain type of game, and maybe to them it's dumbed down. I bet you, easy for the. To me, it allows me to play a military strategy game because I like to, again, don't put me in charge of a navy. I will get it all sunk. I am horrible at any naval warfare. But you put me in with, I have one up where the Battle of Singapore. You put me in something that I know about, and you give me the option to have, again, in the Battle of Singapore, they didn't have any tank. Again, mind-boggling to me when they could have had. Even bad tanks would have helped them. The UK, the English forces. And in order of battle, even when you win, you lose. Meaning, if at the end the historical result was you retreated, you still retreat. You did a better job of slowing them down, which is, to me, it's a lot of fun. I like that. So Tiller, when I went to, so that's my example with that. I want to learn Tiller, but like you said, I have games to play. I don't want to spend a long time trying to figure this out. To me, I'm just being honest. If I was Tiller games, they should simplify it a little. Just
the biggest problem with Tiller games and the Tiller engine is that he's basically been using the same engine that he developed back in the 1990s. I mean, honestly, you go back and look at his old games that he did back then. You could play them. It's almost identical. It's virtually the exact same engine, the exact same combat results. I mean, it's just the scale. Even the graphics are virtually identical.
I don't care about the graphics.
Neither do I. Not when
a fun military strategy game or even a sports game. If it's fun, I don't need. I like Out of the Ballpark. And what do I say? I like the animation. But there's strategy behind. I mean, I play strat. I roll dice. I can use my imagination. I love that stuff, right? But I don't care about the one that you remember. I asked about Zulu, and you found me that game.
Yep.
There's nothing fancy schmancy with it. It's you're basically playing a board game on the PC. You get to see a little animation. That was cool. I like that. But you can point, click, and move the thing.
Yep.
I don't understand if they can do that. You don't have to take the.
It's just the design pattern that I don't know why, and that's one thing I complain about. I mean, I know how to move units around it just because
But is it just me or?
No, it's not just you. It's not just you. The interface on the Tiller games are bad because they haven't been updated in 30 years. That's really what.
And I told you I was psyched, and you told me because you saved me money. I'm buying this game. He goes, and he says, "Why? There's a free demo. Why don't you download that?" He says it's a little more. I go, "Oh, I know that. I watch you play this." And when I can't move a unit, and I'm sitting there going, I'm reading. I want to do. I'm like, really? I just want it to move there. I click.
No, I know exactly what you're talking. I know why you're having problems moving because it is not intuitive on how to move a unit. It just isn't.
I read the thing over and over again, and finally got frustrated. And I remember I was just so thankful. I spend money on games. You know that, OG. It's my relaxation. If you like something, people like to go on vacation. I like to buy games and enjoy them. I love the Zulu game. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to put it up on the channel, and if someone wants to watch it, it's fun. I make mistakes, and the one I put up, it's funny. I played that scenario on normal. I'm not a genius. The only thing I figured out, again, you couldn't really do what I did in real. I don't think you could do it in real life because they would get through. I basically set up killer triangles, meaning like a triangle unit, two units here, and get them in a kill zone, fire and retreat.
Yeah.
And it's a fun game. And in fact, someone from the UK who follows me and I follow them, subscribe to their channel. He bought the game, played it, and he's much better than I am at it. He beat it on hard, and he explained. I said, I tried to set up that final defense. He goes, you have to do it. He goes, your mistake was you have to do it with you can't use native contingent forces. So you couldn't use the native cavalry. You could.
Right.
Game.
Yeah.
All right, so go back to those are a couple of games. What's another
one that I absolutely love and absolutely wish I had not lost is a game called Gunslinger.
Ooh, is that a Western?
Yes, it is a Western.
Cool.
It is a Western.
How did you see? That's something I didn't think you could play as a strat. How you got to describe that to me.
Avalon Hill did it back in the early 80s, and it is, it's a hex encounter. It's one man is one counter, so it's man to man. It's usually it's 2 to 8 players, so you can have multiple people in the scenarios, or you've got the OK Corral and all this other stuff. But it's basically a glorified role playing. It would make a much better miniature game. or a really good role playing game. As a board game,
What did the
kind of missed the mark.
but you enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the hell
What
out of it.
did the board look like? Did it look like a
It had
Western?
oh yeah, it was 8.
Oh, cool.
It had 8 smaller boards, and each one of them was double sided. And it'd have like a saloon on one,
So a scenario. Each board was a scenario.
well, that you could put the boards together. They were geomorphic, so they could be connected together. So you could have an entire town set up. And here's the saloon, here's the jailhouse, here's the stables, here's the corral. And they had one board that was.
I have never. Not that I'm a gaming guru or a historian. I have never. The closest thing I have is Custer. Like a battle or like in Gettysburg. That wouldn't or any type. That's not really Western. That's Civil War.
Civil War, yeah.
That is a gunslinger. That is awesome. Now,
Yep.
did you have? Again, I still can't grasp it. I wish you could show me, or I'm gonna have to look it up because I can't grasp it. I'm used to seeing little square. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the counters in this game were actually round.
Okay.
And they had the picture of the guy on it in some type of gunslinger pose. They even had a dancing hall girl. She was the floozy, and she came equipped with a derringer. So it was. You can get into barroom brawls and had unarmed combat. It had gun fights and stuff like that. But it was it was top down view. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and
if you're trying to, Andrew in the chat brings up TSR Boot Hill. Are you familiar with that?
Oh, yes, I am definitely familiar. That was a full on role playing game. That was they brought that out a couple years after. They released D&D, and it was kind of the same.
You know what would be cool if Play.com or anyone like them did a gunslinger game where you could tell the story and still have a statistical kind of RPG game. That would be cool.
Well, like I said, it's Boot Hill was a regular. It was a full-on RPG, just like D&D was.
Yeah.
But Gunslinger was more a hex encounter. Like I said, I posted the
I'm clicking on that. So I'm not gonna. I think the chat should still stay there. Okay, yeah. I just want to look at this real quick, and hopefully the sound is off. Okay, it's loading. Oh, it's just okay. It's a board game site. Cool.
Yeah, board game.
Wow. What a cool cover. Oh.
Yeah, one of the best covers I've ever seen in a board game.
That is awesome. Oh wow! And they have the game down here, and that is pretty cool. So I can thank you. I can visualize it a bit. I can see. So it's basically you either by yourself or a mini squad of.
Yep. It's what's called a skirmish system, where it's man to man.
That is pretty cool. And off to the side, they have Dracula. That's kind of neat too. But yeah, thank you, OG. That cover alone is awesome.
Oh yeah, just absolutely.
Wow.
And like I said, it was more.
So what did this go for? Let's see what this is.
At the time, $19.99.
I bet you it's a lot more now.
Yeah, well, it's out of print, and you can't find a copy of it. Probably less than $150 now.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's not cool, but I love this cover. I might just print this up and just the cover. You know what I mean? Like you can find the image and just put it on something because I love that cover. That is awesome. That is cool. Thank you, OG. See, now I can visualize it. I can see. Okay, it's like a little like you said, skirmish. I said mini squad. Like squads of 40.
Yeah, well,
I can visualize. I couldn't visualize. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's cool. I highly recommend just looking at. That would be a game if I was a kid. And I saw that game, I would have wanted that game because I'd sit there going, I could play John Wayne. In my head, I could play the OK Corral.
Yep, that's one of the scenarios that was in there. Yep. Yeah, it was my mom kind of got a little bit because I bought that at a Toys R Us. This is back in the day when you could buy war games at Toys R Us. I bought that at Toys R Us for $20. It took me like a month and a half to save up my allowance for it. And I was as we're driving home, I'm going through the counters and I said, oh wow, there's beer bottles in here. And my mom got a little bit. What do you mean? It's for bar fights, Mom. You know Westerns, they always break bottles over people's heads. So yeah, she
Jake Cruz in the chat says game looks complicated, Grogman.
It was pretty complicated. It would have made a better miniature system or role-playing game. it trying to do a gunslinger game as
Now,
a board game.
When you say miniatures, and I just watched last night, Phantomatic, they play a miniature Star Wars game, which was awesome. I watched the whole thing. I was that, and Dave Little had his stream going. I was going back and forth. What was good about it was Dave Little did a nice job calling. You know me, I like to listen, right?
Oh yeah.
So
no, Dave did a great job calling.
He did a wonderful job, and hats off to you again for helping him. I helped him a little bit, but you did the heavy lifting. And it's good to have another person in our community streaming. It's not a contest. We all stick together. But I never saw this game, so I was fascinated by it. And Dave did a wonderful job, so I kept going back and forth. And Phantomatic, another fun channel, Phantomatic. I think it's Phantomatic. I'm horrible at names, but check it out. You can just go on my like videos, and I might put the link in later. It was fun. I'm telling you, if you can catch them playing that game live, and you can spend a little time, they love to chat, and they're just fun. So check it out. But so, because you said miniatures, that popped in my head.
Yep.
How would the game, in your opinion? Okay, let's play developer.
Okay.
How would you? You don't have to go overly, just
okay. Well,
how would it play as a miniature?
The original Gunslinger goes on the concept that each character has a certain number of action points they can use a turn, and he can use it to move, run, draw, aim, whatever, what have you. It used an overly complicated set of cards that you basically you did your turn out beforehand. It's like, all right, you want to walk, that's 2 of your action points. You want to draw your gun, that's 2 action points. You got 1 action point left, or you can't really do anything with that. Oh well, you lose it in the turn. And everybody did that in secret. And you revealed it, in kind of an initiative order. Okay, anybody who's got 1 action point, 2 action points, so on and so forth. It was more complicated than it had to be. But as a miniature system, you can just say, and with a hex board, trying to move an individual guy on a hex board, you kind of lose a little something. If you just say, all right, a movement is 4 inches, you just move 4 inches, rather than, all right, a hex here, a hex here. It just visually, as a miniatures game, would be more stimulating. But yeah, that would be really to get rid of the card system. You just have a certain number of action points that a person could do each turn, and you just spend your action points.
I'm just a little familiar with what you're saying because of that Star Wars game I watched.
Right.
And the visual would be quite interesting. I like that, because would you say that, like, Todd plays miniatures, Itinerary Hobbyist?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So. And the visual, because when he sets up, like when he does the towns and stuff, I could visualize the gunslinger now. If you get the saloon and this, if you wanted to go that way, that'd be kind of cool.
You can get the miniature, 28 millimeter, which is pretty good sized miniatures, 2 or 3 inches high. And there have been there was Games Workshop released a Western miniatures game that we used to play 10, 15 years ago. And we used to have this one guy who would spend obscene amounts of money making terrain, but he set up he did this entire town, and we did this one really big battle in it. And yeah, it was a blast. It just, as a miniature system, gunfighters work better as a miniature system.
So you would use, because you still roll dice. I've seen Todd do it. I saw the Star Wars, Phantomatica. That's it. Phantomatica films. And they're always so nice to me, and I'm horrible. So please, if you want, and then there's another one. They did a short stop action thing on a different channel where they collaborated. That was pretty funny. And if you can go to my like videos and find them there, and because I'm horrible with names. I'm doing okay. Wonderful Life. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for asking. Yeah, I can visualize that as a miniature game. To me, that'd be fun. And
there are guys that people still it's a good tournament game, because it doesn't take a lot of preparation and setup. Most people know the rules, or at least who are gamers. It's played at conventions, and people will actually have miniatures, but they'll move them around on the hex board.
So they've done that with Gunslinger. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah. A lot of times. There are a series of games out there from a game company called Columbia Games that are known as block games. Instead of counters, you actually have wooden blocks to mark where your units on the board are. The Command and Color series from Richard Borg Mark, Command Colors, Napoleonics, Memoir 44. It's just a whole plethora of them. But what people have done, instead of using the blocks, they'll get little like 15 millimeter, 6 millimeter miniatures, and have one guy out there represent one block. So that's
the gentleman in England, Ralph. I think it's Ralph. The guy, he does miniatures. He does a lot of things with the Zulus and the and I think he had some gameplay, but he shows you the paintings and how he paints them, and he wants them. Yep. And he's really, and again, I'm horrible with names, but that's another interesting channel, and that's probably the first miniature one I came across. No, I'm sorry. The first was Itinerary Hobbyist. Not when you guys were playing the PC game, but then he did other things. So that's kind of neat, but yeah, the miniatures is kind of cool, and it fits for certain things. It's still mind-boggling to me. Not mine. That's not there. It's very interesting that you set up this big table and you basically have this wonderful artwork of little soldiers, and you're replaying a battle, and you still roll the dice, and they take out the measurement thing, and that's when Todd does it. It's incredible. It's just fun. But the gunslinger, that would so work in what you just said. And the only reason why I have a little bit of understanding is I watched Phantomatica Films, him, and he was funny. He wasn't playing. He was like narrating it, and his two friends were playing, and then he'd do a commercial with everyone in the chat. He would say like, hey, check this channel, just check this. It was fun. He would stop and do commercial. And I had a great time because I'm rooting for the Empire. I'm an Empire guy. Because the way I look at it is not everyone in the Empire can be bad. It's an impossibility. So that's the way I look at it. I think the rebels are just out of control anarchists. Anyway, it was really interesting to watch. So, okay, that's cool. So people have modded that game then, Gunslinger.
That's
awesome. That's awesome.
Definitely.
Okay, so what's another, if you like to, a couple more or whatever, I don't care. I'm having fun talking about games.
I'd have to look over those are the top three, definitely.
I can see the gun. I'm telling you. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Advanced Squad Leader. I want to shoot myself for saying that.
That's the one you have.
Yeah, that's again one of my top fives. I haven't played it in like a year and a half, 2 years.
Now let's go the other way. And again, Gunslinger. If I was a kid and I saw that, no matter how complicated they said that game was, I'm like, I want that to cover. And again, if you haven't seen it, anyone, it's right here in the link. The original Grognard, Devin OG, please check out his channel. He put it in. It's just beautiful to me. Again, somewhere like, I'm gonna actually have my brother-in-law print that up because he has a better printer, and I want that. I just want to look at it.
It's a beautiful cover. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at it again. It's just awesome. And the little again, when I look that up, I can understand the gameplay. Not understand the gameplay, but I can visualize it now. I just didn't get it. It's little squads, is my layman's terms. You said skirmish, the better way of putting it. But look at that cover. It's beautiful. You see the gun, and he's walking toward. That's just. That guy who's dead's having a bad day. That's never good. But yeah, I love that cover.
Yeah, it's a great cover. Great cover.
So, and I just clicked on the wrong button. Hold on a second. As the stream might come to an end shortly. I clicked that. No, okay, good. It's the wrong button, just not the horrible wrong button. So let's go back over here. As Al's trying to shut the screen down. Anyway, I'm having too much fun. Yeah, so let's go the other way. You gave us 4 games. And when do you think you're going to play Advanced Squad Leaders coming up soon?
I can't play it solitaire. There's just too much there, and I know I'm not good enough to do it. I could, but I'd be playing it wrong. So ASL, again, it's a lifestyle game, and if you want to learn it, the best way to learn it is to have a mentor. I had a mentor. I had a group of guys here in Seattle.
I remember you telling me, yeah.
But I don't go up. Things happen.
Things happen. We'll leave it at that.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know animosity. It is what it is. Yeah. And I just don't see myself getting back. And plus, the price tag to get into. If you got a good group, you don't have to pay a dime because the people who play ASL have everything.
And they share. They want you to play.
They want you to play. So really, if you get in with a group, you don't have to buy a single.
They're sharing their games and stuff like that. That's cool. That's cool. That's
cool. To get into it, however, the price to get in is absolutely freaking ridiculous.
We'll go to something. When I saw the miniatures, and when Ralph Asterley, I want to say is his last name. The gentleman from England. I was like, this is cool. Again, I see something I don't want to buy a ton. I'm like, I'd like to have a set, like just a set, of a set of Zulus and a set of British soldiers, just to put for artwork.
Yeah.
I have these stupid plastic helmets when I was a kid. I still have them. I enjoy looking at them. They're right here.
I've got a bunch of football ones like that in my bed. The old 70s, original, the 70s Buccaneers.
Yes. I don't have any of those left. I love those dearly.
Yeah.
And again, my favorite team, of course, the Red Sox. But anyway, I'd like to have it. I looked, and he goes, hey, it'd be a bit pricey. So I looked up, I go, he's right. I like him. I don't like him that much. It's just something fun to look at,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so hello, Moni G. Long time now. I hope all is well. My good friend Moni G from the Detroit City area. And she is teacher extraordinaire. How are you, Moni G? Hope all is well. Happy New Year, my friend. But, okay, so let's go the reverse now. I'll tell you a game, and this is a video game.
Okay.
That I wanted to like, and it sucks. Only because of the controls. And it's one of the Resident Evil games. My friend actually, I didn't even have to spend a dime. He purchased it for me. Those controls are the most freaking clunky controls. How do you make a game that, to me, the controls are extremely frustrating?
I hate the Resident Evil series, and I hate the Resident Evil series because of those freaking controls. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so the version he got me, I'm going to like this one. And I hadn't played it in a long time, and I never got far in it because I hated the controls. Even when I had it on whatever, the PS2, I thought that the aiming, everything was a pain in the ass, right?
It was, yeah.
So now I got it on the PC, as Moni G says, Happy New Year, Al, and Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you, Moni G. Lovely, lovely person, Moni G. But so, and he goes, you can actually, because I tried to play another one, right? I had bought it on Steam years ago, and I tried to use the keypad, and it was, well, God, I can't do the keypad. And I can use the keypad. I'm not the best, but I can. So he goes, no. He gave me a thing so I can hook up a control. I go, I want to like this game. And believe me, he bought. It was a decent dollar amount. I appreciate it. So I go, I hate this game. I hate it. It doesn't make sense. So why do you make a game that has a pretty cool storyline and you foobar it? So
it's a Japanese game, and that's pretty much the only excuse I have. I don't know why.
Why don't the controllers? It's tanky. It's clunky. You're trying to point a gun. Someone's coming at you with a pitchfork. I'm not talking about being nervous, like they give you that atmosphere thing, and you shake a little bit until you get your. I'm not gonna say I don't play the game enough. I don't know if you level up, but you get confidence or whatever, your veteran status. Like when I played Verdun, World War I shooter, the more you played, the more you leveled up, the more veteran you stayed calmer. So your gun when you start off, you will shake and stuff. Well, you can't play the game. Hell, you can play Verdun if you're a good shot. My nephew would get in there and play, he'd annihilate everybody. It was hilarious. I'm like, it doesn't matter, but you just as you play, you level up. And I haven't played, but it was so clunky. Someone's coming at me with a pitchfork, and I'm like.
I think one of the reasons why they made the controls so bad is because it was a horror survival game, and that ramped up the
tension.
The tension, exactly.
You have bad controls, that, but
so
yeah.
You can't shoot straight, so it's supposed to be mimicking the fear and terror that you're feeling.
Yeah, then guess what? I can't shoot straight. I die. Verdun did it the best. You're a little nervous. They made you breathe, like you had to hit the breathe thing, and it calmed you down for a second. But you didn't. And the more you played, you leveled. You didn't have to do it as much or at all. And I wanted to like that game. It's horrible. So that's my. I hate that game.
Oh no, I'm right there with you. I'm right there.
Controls, I don't get it. How do people enjoy? And there are people who love it. I don't get it. God bless them. I wish I wanted to love it. So that's then again that's. Board games, any board game I bought, I've liked, even the ones I didn't know how to play. I mean, again, Tobruk, I made up my own rules just so I
could. As long as you were having fun with it, who cares? Because when I was that age, when I first started getting to Wargaming, we never played any of the games, right? It's we had to make up half the rules as we went along.
Yeah, and Moni G says, okay, that sounds awful. If I play a game to kill things, I want to kill them. I agree. Oh, she says I sound awful. Well, it's a game.
Exactly. They're pixels. They're not
Exactly.
real.
They're not real people. I'm not recommending that. I'm saying in pixels. So what was a frustrating board game? I don't have, I mean, again, the board games I played, I understood, except for a couple of strategy games. Are a little, again, that's my fault. As I was young, I bought games too advanced, and I didn't have the patience to sit there. And it's difficult when no one can explain. Because my friends didn't play that. They played ones, and those games we would play together and figure out the rules and stuff. Those were fun, but they didn't. That one, it was a little above us. We tried to understand. And again, we made up rules that were probably. I'd say when Axis and Allies came out, it was perfect for us at that age because it was a little more than Risk, and we still played Risk. We loved Risk. I still like Risk to this day. It's still fun. Basic strategy, but it's an important strategy. You still can lose at Risk. You make a mistake.
Oh yeah.
And the thing with Risk is you get overextended. That's the big mistake everyone makes. Or there's two things. You're either too cautious or you're too overextended. But when Axis and Allies came out, that was so much fun. So what was Resident Evil just sticks because I wanted to like that game. I hate the freaking control of that. The way the things move sucks. So, what was a game for you? Again, just curious.
There's been a lot of games that I thought have sucked. Resident Evil is definitely one of them. I'll be honest, I wanted to like Madden back in the day, like 2003, 2004.
Yeah, I had stepped away from it by around that time period, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wanted to. I just couldn't get each of the buttons did something different on either offense.
I'll be right back in a second. Hold on a moment. I will be right. I apologize for that.
Oh, no worries. So yeah, the original Madden series, I couldn't get the plays to work. It just there were too many buttons, and this is when the 360 controllers were, or well, not even 360. The Xbox controllers were first coming out, and when I grew up, we had a joystick with a stick and a red button. That was it. That was our controllers. So when this comes out for like the PlayStation and the Xbox, it was too much for me. I was completely. I'm good at it now. I can play it now, and I do quite often. But back then, so yeah, the original Madden series I really didn't like. What are some other games? I can look at my Steam library and can say the problem is I tend to like a lot of games that other people can't stand, and for me, it's about the story. If the story's good, I really don't care about the gameplay. It could be a crappy gameplay, but if the story is entertaining me, I love it all day long. There was a game that was out that was one of the first games that came out for the 360. It's called Too Human.
I have to. Sorry to interrupt you, OG. I have to end this stream. I got to go deal with some stuff.
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem.
Thank you, everyone. I'm gonna end this quick. Thank you, OG. Thank you, the chat. And health and happiness. Take care.
I hope everything's okay. Reach out.
I gotta. Okay.
All right. Go.
I gotta go. Thank you. Take care. Love everyone. Bye.
All right, brother.